All right, hello!
Welcome!
Hello
Greetings
and
and
welcome
salutations.
to Season 2 of the War of Inheritance. When last we left our heroes, the map looked something like this. There were many problems, and they were all a dragon.
Wait, where's Tinders?
Where's Lord Tyndall?
yes. Where is Lord Tyndall?
Lord Tyndall is right there.
There we go, he's okay.
Okay, so, brief recap of Season 2 is very difficult to do, as I discovered last week. I attempted to write a short recap and failed, because these guys have just done an awful lot of stuff in 10 sessions. They've made friends, they've made enemies, they've started trading, they've started killing things, and now they have to deal with a dragon. So the basic plot for Season 1 was Freya running away from an arranged marriage, gathered up the local hoodlums, and went off on some quest that she didn't really believe in to go and cleanse a well source up north.
And somehow brought my arranged marriage with me.
This turned
we were trying to run away
into
from.
kidnapping the arranged suitor
Whoa.
for a given value of kidnapping, going up
A little
north,
bit of light kidnapping.
and hello friends! More people are chatting. So Lord Tyndall got kidnapped-ish, taken up north. They sided with the lizard men in a war that's going on, ? They started a war with Krassos, ? And they stole a whole bunch of weapons and gave them to some dwarves, and then they got to the well. They cleansed the well, good job them.
Mainly me.
That was a team
I
effort,
couldn't
really
have done it on my own.
Josh's frustration with Sanctuary was from side
Thank
to
you.
side.
That is,
Yeah.
Ash, that is exactly right. Broke engagement, started fire, fixed magic well, fixed dragon, also started a goblin cult.
Oh yeah.
That's what
I
happened.
love the Goblin Cult. We should go back and check on the Goblin Cult.
They're all going to be dead.
Okay.
So, why would you say this?
That is such a mean and accurate thing to say. Okay. You didn't see the notes that Iris has been passing me. I secretly go back and murder all the goblins. That is not a thing. Yes,
Wow,
so
that's phase.
you will have to bear with us. This is the beginning of Season 2, and in that spirit I have rearranged everything, so all the lights and cameras are in different configurations, the players are sitting in different places, and we will find out whether or not this works in this session. So let's get cracking. Where did we leave immediately the end of last season?
So there was a battle of trying to cleanse the well, and there was this corpse of a dragon. We assumed it was dead, and yeah, that's definitely a dead dragon. And then as the healing waters of the well spread out, the dragon wasn't quite so dead.
Whoa. Missing the most important part here. Lord Tyndall killed a fucking tree.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Sure.
Good on Lord
Single-handedly.
Tyndall. I think he should level up, really. I think he should become a level 1 character at this point.
It is very possible that is happening. There is a little glow about him, and a little character icon has appeared above his head.
You know, it's a biog.
Lord Tyndall did defeat, in fact, this tree. Let's put it on the map, because it's there. Lord Tyndall slew this great and terrifying monster tree, and things are happening to it. But yes, yeah, they are. But yes, you ended having inadvertently healed up the dragon that was causing the pollution. That was
I believe it was an adult black dragon.
It was something like that. It's about that big. That is a reasonable representation of the threat you are currently
Jorg
facing.
is currently stood at arms, eyes locked on the dragon, and kind of frozen as he's not really entirely sure what, if anything, he can do at this point.
Seems fair. Anybody immediate reactions to this dragon? So as soon
My
as
immediate reaction is something like this.
Jorg not looking back to see that look on these faces like, Neve, on a scale, how fucked are we? Oh, that fucked good.
Freya is in awe, and Captain Lucille is excited to have found a new mount.
Oh man, let's see how that goes. Firstly, thank you very much for subscribing, Sykes McKenzie. You are the best, and we do it for people like you. Thank you so much.
I wonder who that could be.
I wonder indeed.
Close to terror?
Yeah,
Close to running away?
that's a reasonable response. This dragon has emerged like a vengeful swamp god, and It is no longer leaking its black life force into the well.
Nope.
What was under where its wing was?
Under where its wing was a. We'll come to this.
No, fine.
That's fine. Yeah, but thank you for reminding me.
York is momentarily tearing his attention away as he's like, is this an important thing?
So the dragon emerges to its full height, and it is trailing weeds and moss and stuff that was growing and floating on the surface
It looks
of the
like
lake.
it's been down there a while.
It looks like it's been down there a while. And it pulls itself up to its very impressive height, and it gives a great roar that echoes across the lake and the rest of the clearing.
York takes a half step
I
backwards.
take several steps backwards onto the path.
I'm going to take a step forward.
I'm shuffling back.
York face palms incredibly. No.
I'm going to curtsy to the dragon.
Ooh.
I don't know if it cares about this stuff. I'm going to give it a go.
This is the first time I think York has ever seen you curtsy. It's like, oh,
You can do that?
now she does this? Fine, whatever.
I can act like a lady.
So
when I
you
have
go
to.
and curtsy to the dragon. That is astounding. Please will you roll me a performance check?
8.
8. Okay.
I'm
You,
out of practice at curtsy.
yeah, it's not something you do very much. Okay, so
And
you,
you're in a swamp.
Yeah.
And not really wearing a skirt.
yeah, so you attempt a curtsy.
Is there a bag of white dice anywhere?
Uh,
Yes.
So yeah, you attempt a curtsy, and the dragon looks at you, and it breathes heavily. And as it does, you can see that there is an acrid, dark green smoke that is pouring out the sides of its mouth.
Oh dear.
It's not gearing up for a horrendous breath attack yet, but you can see that it is.
Yeah, I like how you dropped yet.
That's
in
right.
there.
But you can see that this stuff is kind of lingering in the air. It's breathing out some kind of noxious vapors, and it leans right in towards you. And this thing is huge. I mean, it could swallow you. It's a dragon, and it moves its face right down towards you, and it lingers with its arms into the swamp once more. And it leans, yeah.
York takes just a half step in front to interpose.
A good choice, my lord.
I'm gonna.
Okay. York gives you a look like he's gone more insane than usual, but sure.
Okay. You do not notice that Lord Tyndall has walked up and is ready to throw himself in front of the dragon.
Oh.
You know what? I think there may be a moment between Lord Tyndall and York where we just nod to each other and cool. Right, let's see how badly this goes.
Greetings, dragon.
In language, please.
Hi, Browder.
I mean, to be honest, if anything's gonna speak it,
Stonking. Okay. Let's. Yeah. Okay.
Not thieves' cant.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alright,
it is a black dragon, so
Do you want to continue with that?
no, that was an out of character. That was very out.
Okay. Hey there, dragon. I wonder if you speak thieves. Oh, dead. I'm dead. I'm very dead. Okay. I thought that was an in-character
Oh,
thing. I was
goodness,
like,
no. York is, if anything, York really doesn't have anything to say at this point.
the dragon turns and well, it doesn't turn. It's right there. The dragon looks at you and says, "Greetings." And as it does, I would like you to. You don't need to write it down. You take a point of damage just as it breathes, and yeah, this green gas, which it's not really going for. This is just a byproduct of standing near this dragon, wafts over you.
Standing
It is
this close to it.
It is warm, and it feels like a really sticky, humid day as it goes over you, and it feels nasty on your skin. But you are standing in a magical well, and so you are immediately restored to full hit points.
Language?
As far as you are concerned,
Yeah.
it is spoken Brouter.
Right.
It is spoken High Brouter. So Brouter to Yorg,
Yeah.
High Brouter to Euphraya, and to Iris and Need, it is spoken Estalian. Yes, it's spoken Elven to you. That is correct.
Whoa.
These are the languages that you have heard it in. It made a noise with its mouth, but you are hearing this in your echoing inside your heads. It is speaking to each of you telepathically.
Wow.
York is currently going over the process of. Oh, good, it can speak.
I am Freya, and these are my companions.
Greetings, Freya, and Freya's companions.
See, I heard main course and side orders.
Where am I?
In the well? We travelled here to cleanse this well as it was spreading noxious nonsense across the land. And we found you here also.
You are in the wildlands north of Galatea.
Takes a great big sniff in.
I am far from home. Tell me, the Lady Freya and her companions, why did you come and rescue me from my predicament?
It licks its teeth.
Your essence was leaking into the water system and spreading your...
The dragon looks at you and... Take me an insight check, please. Everyone can take me an insight check.
12?
Okay. 15?
Unusually.
Yes.
York has so many other things on his mind.
Bit busy here.
How does one read the body language of a dragon?
Nope, no
Answer,
idea.
you don't.
No
So on a
idea.
15, Freya, you're pretty certain that this dragon has like pucked up a bit. It's had its curiosity piqued. This is an intrigued dragon now because it has seen Iris. It's gone interesting. No one else has clocked this change in the dragon, but that's what it's done.
And your essence was spreading to the land and changing it.
Come closer, please. I can barely hear you. You're so far away.
And it laughs.
Come a bit closer.
I'll shoo you in front of me as well.
Please.
I smile winningly.
Such a lovely group. A lovely bunch. What a nice formation.
Dragon's kind of talking to itself.
What is your name, little one?
Iris of
Iris.
Hollyhock.
Interesting.
You hear in your head, and nobody else does.
What a fine young sprout. I am certain that you will grow into a mighty plant. I would be very interested in helping nurture your power and perhaps acting as a mentor on your journey.
You hear in your head. For everyone else, the dragon says,
Well, I am truly grateful for your assistance. What are your plans from here on?
Go back to Hollyhock? We cleansed the well.
We have many more missions in the north.
I look pleadingly at me.
Sir Dragon, you say you are far from home. Where is your home exactly?
Please, call me Calm.
Calm. A rustling, frantic take notes.
I think Lord Tyndall is actually taking notes. Pencil somewhere.
I've got a pencil. That's right.
Right, we'll sort pencils down in a second for now. Lord Tyndall... No, we're not doing Lord Tyndall. Stop it, chat. Invite the dragon to the wedding.
Home is a long way away. It will take me a long time to reach it.
Perhaps maybe it is foolish of me to offer, considering who we are and who you are, but is there any way we could assist you in returning to your home?
The dragon smiles.
I would welcome the assistance. I was brought here against my will in order to return home. There are things I will require. If you will bring them to me, I will reward you.
What do you need?
Yes, we will bring them to
Wait. What do you need?
Josh,
Yes.
is this...
Are you going to detect Wibble?
Is this a celestial fiend or undead? I know it's probably none of those things, but I...
Okay, so-
I have this ability and Jorg still isn't
No.
entirely sure how it works.
I
so I'm
understand
just gonna-
that. I'm going to tell you right now that it is not Celestial Fiend or Undead, but dragons will ping your specific Wibble because of how my setting works.
That's super fucking interesting.
So it is tripping your paladin senses.
Okay. That's new and exciting.
Yes, dragons in my setting are slightly different to how dragons are in D&D, amongst other things. So it says,
I can perhaps provide aid. I can trust you, I'm certain, since you have rescued me once already. I would truly be in your debt.
the dragon says in your mind, Iris,
Little child, I can see the pain rolling from you. It hurts me as it hurts you. The aching, the longing, the loss. You do not know your heritage. And you could. I could teach you. I could tell you. I could show you.
again, you didn't hear any of that.
And what is it you require?
There are 5 helms who were forged in times gone by. If you bring them to me, I will be able to return home.
Helms.
Didn't hear something about a helm.
Insight?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Really not. Really, like, natural one, really not.
Okay, this dragon is desperate to go home.
Yeah.
It's been torn away by something. It's been unconscious for who knows how long, kind of being kept alive in the well and also pouring its life essence out to poison the rest of the stuff. It's not meant to be here. It wants to go home.
Didn't we hear something about helms?
We did not. That was definitely a thing that... that was
The Lady
definitely,
Freya.
that was
has-
definitely a thing that Captain Lucille had a conversation
Okay, good.
about.
So we don't have time. Good.
What?
Your
Lucille has no
Clara Loft friend on the boat.
Mina Castle.
Yes.
Yeah, Clara Loft. Anyway, but
She was off hunting helms.
for her dissertation, if I recall.
Was she?
Anywho,
Yes.
we don't know anything about that. So,
I will rely upon you then,
A wise choice.
my lady.
looks like what the fuck we sounded like.
It is a pleasure to know that the old ways are still respected. I am pleased that your commander curtsied. Deference is wise in the face of power.
And the dragon says,
I will remain here at the well. My species are long-lived, and this is a place that will sustain me.
And will any of your essence now leak forth again?
Oh, I do hope not.
That was not what I heard. That was not what I heard. Anyway.
It is possible, he said. You could help me.
How?
approach, says the dragon.
Okay, I will go a bit closer.
And it leans its head towards you. It leans right down.
Looking at me.
Place your hand.
So the dragon's snout. Great. You touch the dragon's snout. Boop, says Chad. And can everyone else leave the room, please?
Leave the room!
That is correct.
Yeah, sorry, I should have said. It's just a little problem I've got going on at the minute.
Go on, get the hell out.
Oh man.
You know what? Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Suck it.
Yes, take
Close the door.
popcorn. The popcorn will
Yeah,
out.
take the popcorn.
Solid. Alright. So, the dragon, you touch it and it's speaking directly to you.
Okay.
And it says,
It says, Child of angels, I have power within me that I will give you. I have answers within me that I will give you. But we must trust each other. Take this from me.
and you feel some power leaving the dragon. This feels exactly like when you gained a level by touching the obelisks. You gained stuff by touching the obelisks, and it felt like you were getting, some kind of an offshoot of power from the angels or whatever it is. And this dragon is giving you stuff too. Please gain the acid bolt cantrip. That is going to be the cantrip you gain at level 4. I'm giving it to you before level 4. So but you now have it.
Thank you.
And
For chat, that is a reskinned
Of
firebolt
firebolt.
to acid type.
and it says, I have looked through your mind. You will encounter something very dangerous. Your friends will not know what to do with it. They will misunderstand its danger. You must bring it to me.
What is it?
It is the mantle of Elaine.
And why is it dangerous?
There is much that I would teach you. But you and your friends have other demands upon your time.
I see. I will do my best.
Good. I will eagerly await your return.
You said you knew something about my parents.
Yes. Your mother was an elf. Was she not?
I don't remember.
There is one who would tell you.
Who?
There is an elven enclave not far from here.
We weren't there recently. They are all dead.
The dragon nods.
There are other elves. I will locate them for you. When you return here, I will have news.
Thank you. Is she still alive?
The dragon. Good question. One moment.
She is, and I will help you find her. We will have trust, child.
And you are back in the room. You can come back in!
Oh, we're doing a different game now?
We're actually on strike now.
Yeah.
We're rise up and seize the means of
That all happened instantaneously.
We haven't missed anything then.
What happened is
You haven't been standing there vividly
No.
flashbacking.
Iris touched the dragon, and there was a brief black shimmer down its scales, and the dragon says,
My essence will not leak into the well.
No.
You need not fear further corruption.
Everybody's
Certainly
talking that way?
not from me. I thank you once again. Remember, the helms.
Do you have any idea where we could start looking?
Yes. Gawain was entombed with an enemy he fought. Find the tomb of Gawain. One of the helms will be there.
Oh, mine's out there.
It shall be done.
A pleasure to meet you all.
Says the dragon. And he inclines his wings and bows to all of you.
As he does that, does you catch sight of that thing he was looking for?
what was on the ground of the wing?
So you can see that its wing has some really severe scar tissue, which has now healed over. It was completely broken and twisted up at a crazy angle.
Okay,
it
so there was nothing
It was
under it, was
not
it?
concealing anything. No.
That is fine.
Um,
Reminder, you mentioned a thing.
I want it.
Okay, do it.
The dragon bows, says,
I will return here periodically and await you. Come by when you have what I am looking for.
and it disappears. There's a and the dragon takes off into the skies.
Oh.
Yorg releases the breath he's been holding for the last 5 minutes.
Yes, Freya's going to sit down.
We need to tell everyone.
Who?
Well, I suppose they'll find out soon enough. Maybe we don't need
What
to
are they
tell
going to
everyone.
do? They're too busy having a civil war.
You're right.
He
You're
did
right.
say he was going to stay here.
That is not here. That is terrorising the
Okay.
local populace.
Okay,
I can
you
imagine
know what?
that maybe after...
Fine. Fuck it.
Uh,
Dragons and fucking...
Perhaps I need to just clarify this because I might have not done a very good job as acting the dragon. He has told you that he is going to basically stay and live in the well, and I mean he's not going to like. I'm sat here now. I can't go anywhere.
He's probably hungry, if anything.
for sure. Right, so he
what
has
I mean.
disappeared.
I was
be
like,
fine.
we better tell people, but you know what?
How
They'll
much can
know.
one dragon eat?
Here's the map if you'd like to add Here Be Dragons to it.
No, that's totally on Freya's side.
All right, so the dragon has flown away.
We...
What?
Top of,
We-
top of the river.
We should...
Yeah, that's
We
it.
should...
I haven't
We
got
should...
time.
We should leave. We should leave.
We should leave.
We should leave. We should leave. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Are
My lord,
Are you
congratulations.
quite
you-
all right, Yorg?
No, fucking dragons and dragons and gods and corruption and I'm gonna go for a fucking swim in the river.
Exciting, isn't it?
That is one word for it, my lady. I need a drink, a swim, and
How are you
something
doing?
I can't
your-
ask for in this collective
Sounds
company.
good.
Fuck.
Sounds good. Let's go.
How are you doing, Lord Tyndall?
Lord Tyndall, Freya, your arm hurts. Lord
Oh,
Tyndall
no.
has been squeezing it.
Oh.
Okay.
Are you quite all right, my lady?
Yes.
Good, fabulous. Then so am I.
Right, let's.
I'll ruffle his hair.
Oh.
Oh, the signs of affection are starting.
He pretends not to like it.
I'm used to people
Yorg
pretending that.
Yorg is walking down the river. Yorg is walking down the river. Yorg has shouldered his pack and is just walking down the river.
Okay, cool. Trying to get out of this horrible marshy, swampy clearing that you were in.
Well, it's actually quite nice with it.
It is now, yes.
It's
yes.
water.
It's actually quite
It
nice.
is,
I'm
yes, this is a
going
beautiful,
to,
pristine place now.
Neve is going to catch up with Yorg to keep pace with him and is going to fish a bottle of mead out of her bag and offer it to you.
Oh,
As we go.
oh yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
He looks like he's about. He almost looks like he's just about to knock it back, and then thinks better of it and takes a more measured swig and hands it back to you.
And I take a swig as well.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. Not
Aye.
every day that we save a dragon from a well.
I'm not sure what we just did there.
By the gods.
I am not sure what we just did there.
I'm going to approach Iris.
Mm.
Well, that was interesting, wasn't it?
Yes, I was not expecting to meet a dragon today.
Can I roll an insight check?
You,
Because I did notice the dragon noticing,
yes, you can roll an insight.
and I'm
check.
definitely interested.
Well, I
as
mean,
to
the thing
what's
is that
going
I was
on.
not expecting to meet a dragon today is true enough, but
You are looking for something.
what do you
deeper.
get?
15.
15. Okay, on a 15, there is
Am I more certain that something weird happened, or less certain?
You are. Okay, so you're not certain that something weird happened? Well, you saw Iris walk up and touch the dragon, and there was a shimmer over the dragon. Something happened there. You know something happened there, and Iris is not forthcoming with information right now, so you don't need really an insight check for that.
Alright. Carry this with you.
What is it I'm being given?
I don't know. All of my stuff.
What is this? All of your things? Okay.
I'll
My
carry them,
boots
but-
and my.
Strength is not my forte.
Yeah, strength is not this party's forte, with the exception of York. Very much.
Having seen to York, I'm going to drop back and fall into step next to Iris and take some of all of Lady Freya's things and go, are you all right?
Yes, I had thought we'd be going home now.
Do you want to go home?
Yes, yes, I do. I would like that. I didn't know this was all going to happen with the stones and the dead people and the dragons and the corruption and the dead elves. I thought we were done.
Well, so did I. It turns out we've walked into rather more of an adventure than we thought it was going to be.
What do we do now?
Well, I'd understand if you want to go home, but if I'm honest with you, Iris, I'm a little bit in awe at how wonderful you've been, and I think if you're happy to, that you can do a lot of good. And whatever it is that's going on up here, I think that you have a power that can be used for good, if you want to.
Well, what would we do next?
Well, we know that somebody is going to try and desecrate a tomb, which can only be bad. We know that some sort of corruption is spreading across the lands, and certainly we've managed to clear this little corner of it. I don't see why we couldn't carry on and do more. And we need to try and find some way to get this dragon back to where it belongs, because I feel this dragon shouldn't belong in this... What's the word that I'm looking for? Plane of existence. And things like that, with the best intentions, can make things unravel in ways they are not intended to.
So we need to find 5 helms.
Yes, whatever they are.
Helmets?
Maybe? That would be the obvious one, I suppose.
You know, in my travels,
Captain Lucille appears from
I
behind.
did come across a Tomb Raider.
I see.
And she was looking for a helm, a magical helm
She
of
was.
some sort. She was a scholar.
Where is she now?
Oh.
I dump your things back onto you.
Following your lead, you get mine right.
And we slosh out of the swamp.
Yorg leads you out of the swamp, and the ground becomes firmer now. When you arrive out of the wooded area that you were at the top of the hill, thank you. Yes. Yes, you make your way out of the wooded, swampy area at the top of the hill, and you can now see down the route that you came up. And the water is crystal clear.
Oh.
And it is sparkling in the sun, and it just looks like a healthier, happier place. You can see that the healing magic is spreading down into the land, and things are going to improve.
Josh,
Aye.
can I see the Ellesmere from here?
from where you are. So you guys are.
This is the Ellesmere. Yes?
That is correct. The big river there is the Ellesmere. Can you see the Ellesmere from where you are? Yes, you can. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So just
You know, in and out of hills.
for the benefit of chat, we are currently at the peak here, and this river here is the Ellesmere.
Going all the way across.
We know that somewhere down here is the Vale of Elaine.
The Hallow.
Hallow of Elaine.
Hallow of Elaine.
Somewhere around here, there's the Hallow of Elaine, which is where
Probably
we
there.
know Corcar L will be in about 3 weeks.
About 3 weeks, yeah.
Are we by like we've been walking for like what, an hour or two now?
Something like that.
Are we by a decent stretch of the stream coming down? Just
You trying to get to the Ellesmere?
no. The are we by a? It's no longer a marshy.
That's correct, yeah.
It is
It's
actively
now
a flow.
firmer, yes. You can now
But-
see...
Birdsong all
But
of a sudden.
Well, it depends if you're going north or south. If you're going south, back the way you came, then you hear banjos. Now, if you're going south and back the way you came, then you'll be following the river that you led
I
up.
will have been to get clear of the tree line, at least for the moment.
That's fine.
But
So you came
main,
up the hill.
My main question is that the river we're next to, is it like
Is not the Ellesmere.
no, but is it deep enough and clear enough to be used to take a bath? Because that's mostly what York wants to
Yes.
do. At
Yes,
this
it
point.
is. Well, you could have bathed at the well source if you wanted to.
There was
Yeah,
a dragon.
there was a dragon. I had other things on my mind. Iris, could you do that thing that you did in the other swamp with my clothes, where you clean them?
Oh,
Is
sure.
that a thing? Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to start taking them off. I am having a bath.
Oh.
I have been.
Well,
I will
told
take.
you.
I will take York's clothes without comment or shame, and I will
Yeah,
hand
York,
them
York
to
seems
you.
weirdly. York really doesn't seem to have any
Inhibitions.
inhibitions around this stuff at all.
Also, what's your strength score, please?
18.
Jorg is, I mean, without a doubt, one of the strongest people you've ever seen.
Stacked.
He is ripped, and even though he's a bit grubby and a bit, you know, sort of covered in a grime of hard work, it's not a bad look.
Oh, do you have the mark on your
Yes,
chest?
it's York.
Well done, makeup team.
Sure. For the sake of things, York
Well done,
won't be
continuity.
going full to buff. It'll be like a pair of appropriately boxer shorts or
Sure,
whatever.
yeah. Like some loin wrap or
Yeah,
something.
but we'll fish out a bar of soap out of his pack and just basically backfire into the river and just start washing himself.
Great. Yeah, it is really nice. You are close enough to the well source that it still has all of its healing properties, so you are...
Very, very healed.
I mean, it's not just healing, it's revitalizing and rejuvenating. It would clear levels of exhaustion. It does all kinds of good stuff.
I'm going to top up my water bottles. Can I give
Dance
myself
upstream of York.
4 healing potions?
Yes, you can at the well source.
There we go.
And you gave what blessing did you give it, please?
I can't remember.
So it was
Peace.
you gave the blessing of peace.
The good one.
That is correct.
You can no longer fight.
Yes. Maybe
Oh, no,
not.
wait.
No, that is not what it does.
Maybe we had an effect on the dragon.
Maybe that's the reason we're still alive.
Oh.
Because you didn't choose power!
Yeah,
Which was foolish. You
Didn't choose Super Mega Ultra
I should
Murder.
have chosen power, Iris.
That's a Jacob comment, not Iris.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Your healing potions that you have managed to accrue now heal you. It was D4 plus
Plus
4 before. Now they heal you 2D4 plus 4.
Hey.
Is that something we can all have one of?
Currently, Neve has 4 healing potions that heal 2D4 plus 4.
I'll do
Oh, I
likewise.
saw-
I've got my one, which was the original well water. I still had, but I'll.
Which you,
No,
yeah,
there's no reason. To.
yeah, there's no reason to. Yeah.
So, not very good bondage. When you come back from
I can really recommend it. The water's actually really
from
nice.
bathing, you see, I've got your shield, and you've started to do your symbol of Elaine,
Yeah.
and I'm sort of doing other things on it, sort of seeing how they look, using magic to make symbols appear, and just going. I thought if you wanted to expand, I could give you a template.
Simple
Tell me-
better. I like simple, but thank you.
You've seen
the-
this
the-
magic clothes changing.
The images disappear.
Thank you, but thank you.
This is interesting. You have seen wizards before,
Hmm.
but they're
They're all crusty old court wizards.
well, they all have to chant stuff
Yeah.
to cast. They all use Brauta runes, right? They speak the runes, and the runes kind of form in the air, and they do different things with them. Sometimes they can conjure weapons, sometimes they can conjure food, sometimes they can
Turn on lights. And
you know,
stuff like that.
which is fine. And this is not outside of the realms of possibility for wizards, but this is not the way that you have seen magic cast.
Actually, a query.
Yes. And
How did my divine sense manifest with the dragon, and what was there an overall sense of it, or was it just this is a dragon?
Right. Okay. You haven't had this divine sense properly, Ping, yet, have
No, I
you?
haven't.
So, Yorg, when you were okay, so in that case, you were high adrenaline, high alert,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now the dragon has gone, and you've bathed and calmed yourself down. You feel something disappear, and you think, oh, maybe it's just the blood and fight or flight, but actually, it's more than that because you've been in that before. You've been in battle many times, and actually, there was something else. There was some supernatural warning going on. It was like the hairs on the back of your neck were stood up. That sensation,
Yeah.
but for all of your senses, not just for touch. It was like, oh, there's a real. It was like you could
This is a real
taste
problem.
something on the air. You went. It wasn't even necessarily a problem. It was. You know what it was? It felt out of place.
Okay.
It was like, that's really strange. It was like if you took a classical painting by Monet
Yeah.
and then you put some manga in it. You just go, that is a disjoint. It's not a slight on either piece of artwork. They just don't go together.
Okay. So the dragon felt wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Yorg will be thoughtfully wringing out his braid for a moment. Shrugs his shirt back on. I don't know what other people's plans were, but I'm heading to Elaine's Hallow. You're welcome to join me. Your presence would in fact be really appreciated, but I need to go to Elaine's Hallow. I need to stop whatever's going to happen. They're happening, and if it's as far east as it looks, my lord, once we're done there, we can probably look to take you down south across the border to Krasovsk, if that's what you wish. I think it's going to be the only and main opportunity we'll have to do that. I appreciate you're stuck north in the wildlands at the moment.
He immediately, as you say this, he nods, looks at the Lady Freya, and then at the rest of you. So, he wasn't just looking at Freya. Yes. Then I shall accompany you, certainly.
You're...
Please, York, if I did not, what would become of your dancing?
A fair point, my lord.
Well,
I shall join you as well.
Thank you, my lady. There is anybody with any degree of insight can actively hear the relief of Freya saying yes, she'll come. Because York didn't really want to have that fight, as self-assured as he may have sounded. He really didn't want to have that fight or argument.
yeah, Freya goes, no, you're not doing that, you're coming here. York goes, oh God, what do I do?
Literally, God, tell me.
I know. Freya knew that.
Yes, I think we
I'd
should.
appreciate the help. You don't have to, but I'd appreciate the help.
But afterwards, I don't think it would be wise to keep a dragon waiting too long.
I think that is true as
I
well.
hope by that point we can have actually found out a little bit of what these helms are, because if that entity wants these things, I'd like to know why before we just hand them over, because it felt...
Did tell you.
It just... I don't know how... It tasted wrong. I can't tell you why I know that. It just did.
I
It just
agree.
tasted out of place.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know at all where this tomb raider of yours was headed?
Oh, honestly, I can't remember.
We shall just have to keep our eyes
I
peeled.
don't think I was listening.
So good. GM gives party the tools they need. Party go, what are these for? And throw them away.
Well, if we keep just south of the Ellesmere, I'm sure there are more wells to be cleansed along the way, and no doubt we will be able to find a route that will take us past more standing stones.
And we might be able to find a boat. which will be a
Yes.
campsite faster, which is the main reason for going that way. And we can. Wait. Well, we are going to be going between those two orc tribes as well, which is going to be.
Yes, so for the sake of chat, the two orc tribes that we'll be going between are the
The
Red
Redfist
Fist.
Orcs.
Red
Which
Orcs,
I am
also known as
very,
Red Orcs.
which I am very, very familiar with,
Yes.
and the Grey Eyes Orcs, which I don't believe I am.
No, you probably haven't encountered
And the
them.
river goes right through
And
the middle. That
however,
is some
if-
contested territory
If
right there.
recollection serves, the Red Fist Orcs seem to be fortifying in a general direction to the north rather than to the south.
That is correct.
And towards the west, towards the Lake of Tears. So
Yeah, so I mean, they are
Actively at
engaged,
war.
actively at war, or they've got military activity certainly going on towards the Lake of Tears. And the Grey Eyes Orcs would look to be, from where they've built up, their main concern about being invaded. They don't seem particularly worried about the Black Teeth Orcs, and they don't seem particularly worried about the Galatean forces coming up to kick their teeth in again.
I can't
Just as
think
well.
why.
They've all
It's
gone
like
south.
they've all gone down south.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, we should
But they haven't, that you know of.
walk towards the.
Well, also,
North
they
End.
wouldn't necessarily know that all the forces have gone down south. We'd still.
That's true.
Scouts are scouts.
I believe the Tomb Raider will have been going northeast.
Ah,
Well, she split off the moment we got off the boat.
I see.
So-
You had a boat?
Yes.
Please.
Of course I had a boat. I have a pirate hat.
Yes, my lady. That makes absolute sense. You're
Please make me a history check
Oh,
to remember what happened a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
20! Not natural, but 20.
20, amazing. She was looking for a tomb.
Yeah.
She showed you a picture of it, and she said that she was going to walk up to the Ellesmere and get a boat.
Nice.
She's going to the Ellesmere to get a boat.
Well remembered.
You know, I had a boat once.
So I hear, my lady.
Yesterday.
God, was
Did I tell you about that, darling?
In fact, I think it was earlier today you had a
Oh.
boat.
Oh.
It's been a long day.
This story's
Right,
going to grow in
let's-
the
It's
let's-
been a pretty awesome day. I'm going to be animatedly chattering away to Tyndall, the Tinster.
He is very
Oh, my
excited.
God.
Yeah.
And he is telling
Yeah, we
you
want to know what's happened to you.
About everything that's been going on.
Yeah, he will fill
Well,
you in on everything that happened to
You
these
know,
guys.
my horse got eaten.
Your
but
horse
don't-
got eaten.
Yes, don't worry.
Your horse got eaten?
Yes, then the
My dove, what a terrible twist of fate.
you know,
We are walking at this point.
That's fine.
Yeah.
we were in a caravan with some orcs who were very smelly, more smelly than I thought they would be. I've never met an orc.
And this was where you met the Tomb Raider.
No. Then, yes. Yes, it was. Yes, we'd already.
No, that was
met.
earlier. This is.
See, and they were quite smart. I told them they had a lot of books. Then there were some ogres, and then I single-handedly killed all of the orcs and took their boat.
Did you now?
That is a lie.
And
I'm not
and
even going to roll insight.
I mean,
I
Although you probably
sailed.
did all of this as a lie.
I sailed that boat. Having
now?
also rescued the Tomb Raider
Uh-huh.
and her precious books.
I see. And no
Uh,
doubt this ship was filled with treasures and
It was
antique
filled
weaponry.
with weapons.
Was it?
Dude, look how many knives I have now.
wait.
knives did you
No,
have
no, no.
before?
That makes sense.
Well,
Remember the
I
cart
don't remember, honestly.
that we found.
It's hard to keep track.
the orcs were at, the Chrysosians were selling to the orcs. That doesn't strike me as the first one.
Someone roll me a d12, please. You are wandering the wildlands, and when you wander the wildlands,
Fuck.
the wildlands.
Look,
Right.
why do I roll you? Why do I roll you?
Is that your I want an encounter now guy?
Apparently so.
Alright, sweet. Okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
because the orcs were trading weapons with the Chrysosians.
Well, I traded the boat with some dwarves.
Where did you get those? I say, pointing at the scimitar.
What
Cut very
for,
clear
my
face.
lady?
What do you mean, what for?
What did
They
you?
got those marks on as well.
May I have a look at that knife, my lady?
Which one?
Cutlass.
Just one
cutlass.
Any of them?
Wood.
Does it have the maker's stamp that we saw? earlier?
So your GM is distracted trying to find the monster that's going to eat us all.
Sorry, that is exactly what I'm doing right now. Yes, go. I can
Does
answer.
it have the maker's
does the
stamp?
sword have the maker's stamp as the same
Freya's
as-
once you got out of the boat.
Oh, yes, it does.
Yeah, there we go.
These are weapons castle forged in Krassos.
How many? Well, a boat full.
Loads.
Yes,
Loads of
great many. And I got this much gold for them. Shows you like 10 gold pieces. Maybe I don't have such a good idea of what money is worth.
I mean, I paid
Being
more
a
than this
noble
to
boy.
stay. I think. No, they get no. That's it. And they gave me back the money that I paid them to stay.
I am sure they were incredibly eager to do that deal with you, my lady.
Oh.
They did seem eager.
Yes,
I'm sure it was my charisma.
that definitely had an element to it. Yes, my lady.
So, when we reach the end, we must keep our eyes out for a boat. Now, I don't know what it'll look like, but it'll have some dwarves on it.
It might
And they
not-
will be friends.
If it's going to be on the Ellesmere, my
Yeah.
lady, it won't be on that.
So the dwarves said.
There's a different river.
Yeah. My lady, this is your map.
Yes.
Yes, my lady. It is unlikely that we're going to run into those dwarves on this.
So the dwarves, you don't remember and weren't there and don't cast. I won't even bother. Yeah, that's fine. Clearly, Lady Freya has no interest in what the dwarves' plans were. So, whatever.
I remember what the dwarves.
Clearly being a good friend to travelling boat people. Captains.
Are we still talking about the dragon? We are not. We are now talking about the dwarves that they encountered and gave a boat to.
Roughly how far do we get
So the
before we
boats with
either A,
weapons,
make camp or
force
B,
and
run
weapons.
into an 11 on a D12?
Where you make your way, you're going north up to the Ellesmere, right?
Yes.
It's basically the maybe slightly northeast, but pretty much towards the closest point of the Ellesmere, and then the plan is
That's
towards
fine.
the-
So the Ellesmere, it's the middle of the day, a little bit later, and you can see the Ellesmere. It is a really big river. It's a large, wide.
The Danube.
Yeah, there are
Is it
lots
blue?
of settlements that you can see
I don't know actually. It might not.
on the banks of the Ellesmere as you look up. The land is quite flat, as it tends to be with rivers, and you can see down the river, looking out east across the wildlands, that there are a whole bunch of outposts. There are some towns that are built up on both sides, and it looks like it's a well-travelled and well.
In that case, if we can see a
Traded river.
medium-sized
You are
settlement.
coming up to a settlement that you can see.
Gosh darn.
And you hear shouts from within. Not that they appear to have noticed you. The settlement itself is it's not very big. It's a little. It's like a warehouse that's been built onto the side of the river. It's got a little dock that you can moor boats at. Sorry.
And fortified, I assume.
It is fortified, and there are people running. In fact, you can't see. You can hear shouting from within.
York picks up pace and loosens his axe.
Let me get you the actual map that we are using. Yeah, what are your immediate reactions to shouts coming from this large?
Are they angered shouts or just, noise
inside.
of hurly-burly?
Yeah, I'd like
No,
to
this
roll
is
an
not noise
insight.
of hurly-burly. I'll tell you that for free.
Yeah. I'd like to try. I have a proper listen and try and work out what is going on.
18
Yeah.
on my insight.
18. Oh well, I get a 16. So.
You probably don't.
haven't even noticed.
15.
15. What did you get? 18.
Like, oh, the noise of peasants.
Okay.
Keep remembering your guidance.
Oh.
That's fine. Right, so these are shouts of fear, and you can see that there are some dwarves inside, and
That's fun, man.
standing. It is good, isn't it? There are some dwarves inside and standing around the perimeter. I'll get you the dwarves in just a second. Standing around the perimeter of this building, standing on the edges. So this is a level up. There are some stairs that go up and there are doors that go inside as well. But for now, the level up is what I'm concerned with.
So they're on the roof.
They're on the roof, that's correct.
They're fighting off a dragon.
I was very tempted, but I think that's not what we're having.
Oh, you noobs again.
So the
Got my
elves
hat
is
yet.
here. You are approaching up from that
I
way.
mean, season 2 would be over very quickly.
These dwarves are on the roof, and you can see.
Oh, they're dwarves with pointy hats.
That's right. Pointy hats is the custom up in Estalia.
Yeah.
It's a fashion. It's what they wear.
They look like garden gnomes.
Um,
That will get people killed in a bar fight.
And you can see that there are some things swimming in the river, and they are attempting to swim across this river. And there are things that are pursuing them. The things that are trying to swim across the river look like orcs.
And things swimming in the river.
As in, there are orcs trying to swimming towards the
Yeah.
dwarf encampment.
And the things across them.
And the things that are pursuing them also look like orcs, but they look a bit weird.
Okay.
The orcs, this is hard to tell as you guys approach. Please place yourself on the map somewhere coming in from this way.
York will be out front, if that is okay with everybody else.
That's great, this is what you notice. Sweet. So you arrive and you can see that there are, I'm going to use goblins because that's the model I've got right in front of me here.
Always brought some orcs.
I have loads of orcs, these are orcs that are desperately trying to make it across the river, like so. And these are orcs that are pursuing them. These orcs have things growing out of them.
Oh dear.
These orcs have white, like spores and mould growing on them.
A bit like the elves we saw.
No, nothing like not like the elves you saw. The elves.
This sounds very familiar from what Tutapek was talking about.
These are foaming at the mouth. They have
Oh,
open
God.
sores, and they are frenzied in their movement. They are very fast. They are moving in ways that would be damaging. Yes, thank you. They are frenzied in their movement, very fast. They are moving in ways that would be damaging to their limbs.
Oh god.
Oh,
That's horrible.
God is right.
Can we get the map up as well?
You just want the
Yeah,
world,
no,
don't you?
I do want that.
Right, okay.
Move on, stick!
Initiative from everybody, please.
Alright.
There we go. York's. There's been a micro patch to paladins. 1.
Good.
Not a natural one. Just a 1. Just a regular old 1.
So York's on a 1. Who else got anything low? Well, these guys.
9.
9, thank you. Anything above a 9?
Oh, I'll roll for Tyndall.
17.
17's pretty good.
19.
12 for Tyndall.
Tyndall may have bonuses these days.
I'm
No, he's-
assuming he doesn't.
no,
Fine,
he's
we'll
got
just
character.
go with that for now. What did you get?
19.
No, 19 is pretty good. Is for Iris on a 19. That one gets... Sweet. Iris, you're first to act.
Okay. I'm going to move up and so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So this is a large building. It's pretty sturdy, and this is a dockyard area for loading and unloading ships. There are ships further down this way off the
Okay.
map, but they don't look like there's anybody on them at the moment.
So I'm going to come down here past and shout through at this dwarf on the roof. What's happening?
The dwarf says, "We got some more refugees. They're crossing over. We have to put them down. Can't have the rot spread to this side of the river," he says. Says the dwarf.
Okay, good. I am going to ready an action then. So if he looks like he's going to be attacking these guys,
Yeah.
I'm going to cast sleep on over here.
Okay, amazing. It is.
-4 allies.
No, this is so good. We love it.
It's probably only going to hit 3 of them at most.
Okay, so then let's see. It is the corrupted orcs who are now to go. So these guys, this is a river. This is a fast, deep river, and they are just powering through it. They are strong. They are clearly capable swimmers. The orcs who are fleeing them look utterly terrified, and they're screaming for help from the dwarves in Estalian. So if anybody speaks Estalian, that's what they're doing. As it is, Freya, there's a whole bunch of fantasy races going. Rum, 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 rum. And these guys are just all over him. They are going to go. This one's going to actually get out of the water. He's going to go there, haul himself up, and go 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to there. That's where this guy's going to go, and these guys are going to swim up. This guy's going to get up, and he's just going to run at this dwarf, is what he's going to do. And this guy is going to try and pull this orc under the water, which he reaches up and grabs him, and you see the lead orc who's saying, "Help, I will be," is dragged under the water. And the ferocious and infected orc that is on top of him is pushing him down, and looks like it's got horrible spikes coming out of its arm, but like growths like bone spurs, or these things look disgusting. It looks like it's about to smash into him with those. That is what has happened there. Tyndall is up.
Oh, Tyndall, go! Be brave! Not too brave.
Tyndall is going to... I shall defend you! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Go fucking Tyndall!
He's going to charge in, and he is going to say... Lady Freya, please keep pace. Would you like to take a move action, Lady Freya?
Oh,
Hot damn!
oh! I was going to go on the roof, but
You can, that's fine.
Yeah.
No, you
It's
take,
giving-
it's
it's giving
you
you
take a
a
move
move
action.
action.
This is for free.
There's a wall you've just gone over.
We're
Onto
just
the
going
roof.
up onto the
Oh,
roof,
I see.
right?
everyone else.
Yes, you have to take me a climb check, and that's fine. Tyndall is going to attack the orc. He is going to hit this orc. Come on, man. Yeah.
Go, Tyndall!
Class levels. Who doesn't love them?
Proficiency mod. It'll get you.
It's just good for stuff. And he... Okay, so you see Tyndall draws his rapier.
Yeah.
He goes, shing, and he swings it sideways into the orc a couple of times, and first cut just goes through the orc's armor, the second cut goes straight into the skin. The orc roars in pain, and then leans in to look at Tyndall. Now he's close, he is sodden wet, he is huge, and there is a madness in this orc's eyes. He turns, and there is foam coming out of his mouth, and a little bit of pus seeps out of the wound that Tyndall has inflicted on this orc. The orc raises his fist to the heavens, shouts something, sneezes all over Tyndall and the dwarf.
Ew.
Neve,
Wait, no, what about the move action?
you moved.
what do I add?
That was your move.
But I need to
Climb
do a
check.
climb
What did you?
check.
What did you get? What did you
What do
roll?
I add for climb?
Oh, it's acrobatics check.
70?
Yeah, that's fine. This is not hard to get. There are ladders. You can easily get up onto the roof.
Me?
Yes, Neve.
My turn.
Hello, lad.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. I'm gonna. What am I gonna do? Because it's gonna be great. Yeah, let's do that one. I want to run over. How far can I move?
6.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's not quite enough. Oh, that's very irritating.
Should have given you the move.
No, it's all right. In which case, I just have to rethink what I'm doing. Oh, cool! I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to run over to here, and I am going to create a wall of
Shazbot.
water.
Wow, you got water wall.
I can shape water.
You can shape water.
Might be able to help this guy.
Yeah. I'm going to put a barrier between this one and push this guy up if I can.
Okay, so it's not control water. You won't be able to do it, but you can absolutely go woof and create a
Yeah,
barrier
let's
between these guys. That's a really
Split
cool
the two
effect.
of them.
I will allow this guy an attempt to break the grapple he is currently in, which he really does. Fantastic. Good choice. So yeah, you see Neve run up. She raises her hand like this, and there's a sudden plume of water that surges up from the river and pushes the two fighting orcs apart.
Okay.
Shape water is the new mage hand. Just kidding, says chat. Mage hand, never leave me. Then it was then it's the orcs who are going. So this one is going to provoke an opportunity, but just one block away. So this orc is going. In fact, it doesn't have one. It's been pushed apart by a wall of water.
There's
Sweet.
a wall of water between it
It
and
climbs
the
up onto this
spork.
jetty,
The spork.
and then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He's scared.
Yeah, damn straight. This guy goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you want to make a tax opportunity, you can. But
No, we don't.
1, 2, he pulls himself
We
up.
can't lose them.
3,
They might be
4, 5,
infected.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are running. They take double
Grab them.
dash action to get up, and you can see that they are just going full pelt as fast as they can. They're looking back behind them. They can see these orcs, and there's other orcs on the other side
Soldier,
of the
what are
river.
you doing?
The dwarves are going to. So this dwarf here is going to attack this orc
With some sort of weapon.
with some sort of weapon. He's got a crossbow. He pulls a
And
crossbow.
he's aiming at this one.
He is.
I'm fine with that.
Cool.
Racist.
There's something.
Sporks are unnatural.
It really hits. Green. And it hits for. Okay. That's quite a lot of damage. Didn't enjoy it. Yeah, so there's a pa-ching, and you see the dwarves up on top start opening fire. These two fire at because they are elevated. They don't suffer disadvantage. Yeah, they really do. There is a. This dwarf is going. He attacked already. No, he didn't attack. He's going to attack now. And so he. These dwarves are hardy. They are used to fighting things. They don't enjoy it. They're not, geared up for it. But between a pair of crossbow bolts that thunder into this orc and the dwarf, they manage to hammer it down onto the ground. As it goes down, there's a poof, and a little cloud of spores leaves its body from the hammer blow that this dwarf deals it.
Jesus.
The dwarf coughs, and
Gets a +4 natural modifier to its resistance to poison and disease, I hope.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there, and takes a swing at this guy.
I can't see him, can I?
No, you cannot. He knocks him to the floor, and this guy is going to have a shot at
So I
him
probably can't see him because he's too far.
and miss. So there's a twang, a crossbow bolt goes flying over the head of this orc and misses him. That is the dwarves. That is what they did. York, you're up.
Iris, sleep the orc behind me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like bacon.
Right, so York double runs and gets right up in the face of one of these orcs. That's good. We like these orcs. They're not going to do you any problems at all. Iris, you're up.
I'm going to sort of take the advice I'm given.
Everyone gets sleeped. You get sleeped, and you get sleeped, and you get sleeped.
Freya hasn't had a turn.
I'm sorry, Freya. I haven't written your initiative down. What did you get?
Oh,
Please?
17.
You got 17. Right. You may go.
Now and then.
Now
Again, very soon.
May go
Now
twice,
I'm
in
gonna,
fact.
So in fact, you may go twice.
All right.
You may do.
Cool. I'm going to move to the edge of the roof where I've got a good shot, and I'm going to marksman that dude for my +10.
Oh, nice. You don't suffer distance penalties, which is awesome. And
Oh, no, I didn't.
Advantage for shooting it in the water? Fish in the barrel.
yeah, I'll give that. I'll give you advantage for shooting something that's in the river. It's
Oh,
fine.
yes. Okay.
So it means you get sneak attack damage on it.
it.
I didn't think of that one.
16. Is that it?
16 does hit you.
Nice. Okay.
So just roll. Or that's not the dice you roll for damage.
No,
D20
not.
damage is not. Not yet.
It's not standard.
Not yet.
20 damage.
Plus sneak attack.
So 6 and then
Plus
your
2d6
attack.
sneak attack.
Plus 2d6 sneak attack.
Plus two.
Plus your dexterity.
4, 10, 13,
Plus 10 for marksman.
23.
This thing explodes.
We just see this red line like come out of underneath Freya's crossbow.
Yeah, this thing takes a crossbow bolt to the chest and it goes straight out the other side and it kind of pulls most of it there with it.
Ugh.
As it does, this thing falls backwards into the water and spends a couple of seconds still grasping. It hasn't realised that it's dead yet. Grasping at the gangplank, trying to get up, and then it collapses down. And there's just a nasty floating body in the river. It is gross. Freya, you're up again.
Oh,
Don't let them get away! Don't let them get away. They might be infected.
I can't see that route anymore anyway.
I'm here and I am waving at people.
What did you do?
I readied an action. but it
I'm
never
pointing
triggered.
at this guy.
No, but it's not your turn.
You don't have to
Freya's
listen
going
to
Freya's
me.
going first,
Just to make up, it's
Yeah.
fine. Slightly ambushed, but it's so close it doesn't matter.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to go move to this side of the roof.
Sure.
And I'm going to shoot this dude in the leg.
Do it. In the leg.
Yeah.
I'm going for non-lethal.
Blow his fucking leg off with how you've been rolling.
Okay, so the way this works is I will allow you to, because you have the sharpshooter feat, you can take the -10 to hit, and
-5 to hit.
is it -5 to hit?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can take the -5 to hit, please, and I'll tell you what happens if you hit.
Wow. 12.
12, including your -5.
Yeah.
That's gross.
It's
That's
just straight
true.
whatever you roll on
Lots
dice, isn't
of
it?
plus.
You hit this orc. It is fleeing. It is not in armor.
Okay.
Just
No,
so
it
you
could
know,
not
that's fine.
have. Could not have swum in armor.
8 damage.
You still get your sneak.
Do I?
No, she didn't have advantage.
Oh, she didn't
Yeah.
have advantage.
It's
No.
non-lethal.
So you do 8 points of damage to this orc, and the orc. What you have done, in fact, is you have given it a disabling shot, which means that it has halved its speed. Basically, it's limping. It's got an arrow sticking into its leg, and it looks and sees you, and it continues limping as best it can.
Don't make me shoot you again.
Iris, you're up.
Right, so I will now do what I was told to do, which was to sleep the orc. However, the place that I'm going to target for sleep is
You're going to be fine.
Until Jacob rolls
A billion.
a billion.
well, it's going to hit those 2 dwarves as well.
It is. And you.
Yeah, I didn't roll that well.
You fucking did. There's an 8.
16
Yeah,
plus
but there's
7,
also one, so
23.
you can-
23.
23. Okay. On 23, what happens?
So the lowest HP goes first.
goes.
So that orc is going to
Boff.
go down soon.
Bath is asleep, and 23, 11, 22. No, so you put a dwarf and the orc to sleep. So yeah, you shoot an arrow through its leg, and it goes
I'll take that.
and falls down on the ground. And there's a
Mission accomplished.
and one of the dwarves collapses on top of the roof. So for now,
There's still one over here. There's
and
still
then
one
I
here.
will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
sweet.
So I can see what's going on.
Yeah, you can also now see inside this area. It's a little kind of tavern dockyard place. There are people still in there drinking.
Sure.
Well, I've been in this kind of bar before.
Then let's see what happens is this thing gets up.
That's
Wait,
just
what?
concerning.
Wait, what just happened?
This thing, yeah, it was dead. It was down. Its eyes glow red once again. Ugh. And it pulls itself up and it's going to try and bite Lord Tyndall.
Oh, come on, give me this one. Dun, dun, dun.
not
Sleep
unless
can
it gets
affect the
bitten.
caster, yes. I see no reason why not. In fact, Luke has done it before. He has put himself
Yes.
to sleep. That was hilarious. Everyone was super injured. There were a bunch of enemies. He didn't know what the spell did. He ran up and he went, sleep! And everyone fell asleep except the enemies. So then, yeah, Lord Tyndall was not bitten. Lord Tyndall, you see, desperately parrying this thing as it tries to clamp its jaws down onto Lord Tyndall. It seems like this dwarf is really helping him there. But that one did that. This one is going to have a go at you, Yorg.
Bring it on, you big green turd.
That's mean. Does a 22 hit you?
No, yes.
Good. Would you like to take your... Fuck off. You got DR3, right? Would you like to take 1 point of damage? If
Was
I
it
roll-
nam or just damage down?
no, this thing went. It was a slam. I went to punch you.
A slam.
And this thing goes up. 1, 2. Oh no, half a minute to get up. 3, 4, 5, 6. That's frustrating. Oh well.
You do another 6?
Yeah, can't do anything. So it's going to go 6 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and take the attack opportunity, which oh god, crits. Fine. All right, cool. So it runs past this orc. This orc punches it as it goes. It just doesn't care. In fact, as he punches it, you see he rubs his hand. These orcs are exhausted. These guys appear indefatigable. It is on a... Who got a 14? So I've written 14. I haven't put anything there. Good job, Josh. Let's go with Tyndall. That seems hang on. Freya, Iris.
Tyndall
Neve,
did
you're-
roll a 12, 14
I was like
Yeah.
a 7 or a 9 or something.
Tyndall's up.
Tyndall's up.
Tyndall is going to. Who'd like some move? I want to help the party.
Suspect Freya.
If he takes the attack action, he can give an ally within 30 feet a move.
30 feet Freya's probably out.
I don't need it.
Neve.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Sweet. He's going to take the attack action and give you a move. He misses.
But you still get to move.
But you still get a move.
Great.
Nice. I'd be interested at some point in seeing the.
Yeah,
the
I'll show you it. Yeah. I only built it to level 6, and then I went, you know what? If it becomes relevant beyond that, we'll look at it again. So it is now Neve. You're up. So Tyndall says, "Neve, I'll hold him back," and kind of grabs at the orc and pulls him around, and so you run around the orc.
Okay. I am going to. Yeah. I'm gonna slam my staff down into the floor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up at the clouds and I'm gonna call down a bolt of thunder towards these two here.
Swell.
With thunder wave.
That's pretty good.
So they must make Constitution saving throws.
Okay.
I put
What's
money
the
on the
DC?
green one being decent at this.
What's the DC, please?
I don't know.
What's your wisdom modifier?
My whiz modifier is
No.
Wisdom
Plus-
modifier plus 3.
plus 3.
13.
13. Plus 2
8
for
plus 2
proficiency.
plus 3.
8 plus 2 plus
13.
3 is 13.
Okay, so what if they pass their save?
Hmm?
What if they pass their save?
If
They
they pass,
both passed their save.
they both pass their save. So on a successful save, they take. No, that's not good. 2 damage.
Swell.
And stay exactly where they are.
Okay,
That's a real
so there's you slam your staff down and you put out a bolt of thunder, but it just didn't click. Something didn't quite work there. In fact, you slam this crate and the crate explodes and takes the brunt of it. And these guys are scattered with debris, but basically
They
they're
don't
fine.
move, yeah.
They don't really. They're okay. Then it is the orcs who are going, "Oh my god, run away!" So this guy is downed.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, he is downed. This guy
He's the only one left.
is not. Okay, so he's going to take an attack of opportunity.
Mhm.
And he's going to go 1, provoking an attack from the orc, who hits him. And doesn't drop him. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. He is off the map, he has run. You can go and investigate, but as far as the purposes of the combat go, he is not there.
Sounds like a thing for you to deal with if you want it.
Then that was him. He's the only one there. Right, fine. The dwarves. This guy is going to load and shoot another crossbow bolt, and these two, he's going to come and stand there and shoot him, and he's going to close. And
Is that how you're not going to run up to the orc? Because that would also be a sensible thing if they're trying to quarantine it.
no, that is true. Yes, he's going to leave and go after the orc, and he's going to loose a crossbow bolt at the orc. Is what he's going to do. But yes, that's a very, very good point. Which means that this guy is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and shoot this orc, shoot this corrupted thing, and he's going to miss. Sorry, dwarves. Sorry, guys. These dwarves are not very good. Pew 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 pew. Freya, you're up. Jorg, in fact, you're up.
I'm going to lump the thing in front of me.
Silver plate.
Do it.
No, that isn't that one.
And that one. Okay. That's good.
Hammer powers, axe powers off.
You swing in towards him.
Yeah.
And it grabs your axe with one hand, and it opens its mouth much wider than a mouth ought to be able to open. It's like that scene in The Mummy where its face stretches.
Yeah.
And it is going to.
Is it able to grab the axe without any ill effects?
Apparently
no.
so. Rule of cool.
No, that's a. No, yeah, this thing. Yeah, this thing for sure is. Yeah, it grabs the axe and then it belches at you. And there's this horrible, there's stuff in here, it's a wave of horrible hot air, but also some flecks of things that land on you. Can make me a Constitution saving for it,
I
please.
really hope so.
I really hope so too.
No.
Oh.
Good.
Exciting. I'm really exciting. I'm really looking forward to. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with this.
Great. Thank you. That's
The
all.
GM
That's all that
asked-
happens on a nat
The
one.
GM wasn't that one. The hit was in that one.
That's fine. That was
not
my
that.
consequence of no, obviously, yeah, but sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, I made you take a con save because that's what these things do, and I thought, well, that's a reasonable that one. Freya, you're up.
I'm going to go here.
Yep.
I'm going to ask this dwarf, how do we kill these things?
the dwarf reaches into its pouch, reaches into its bag, and it pulls out a torch and it throws it to you, and it says, "Fire will do."
Iris, burn them. Can I light my arrows?
Sure, it's cool.
Yes. All right. There you go.
They're not going to be great. You'll have to make some flaming arrows if you want to be doing this, but yeah, that's fine for now. Yeah, of course.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to take a shot at this one.
Do it.
I am going to use my marksman thingy box,
Otherwise, it has cover.
and I did not hit
What?
unless it's got 8.
No,
As a hit.
8 is not enough. Great, you shoot it, but your arrow goes flying past. But you missed, and your arrow funks into one of these boxes and slowly burns up the shaft. You're not like it. It's not like it's going to be a problem if the box catches fire. You are right by the river. Iris, you are up.
Okay. I'm told to use fire on these things.
How many
One
spells
in
have
the
you got left?
I've got a level 2 and 2 sorcery points.
Ah, you're doing fine. Loads of resources.
That's 2 spells.
That's 3 spells if you do it right.
No, it's not. A level 1 costs 2 sorcery points.
Does it? That's scrap.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one sorcery point.
Yeah,
it's
that's
for,
all right.
it's for meta magics.
2. Okay.
Get the one in the open.
I could, but we want to destroy them with fire, is the point. So what I would quite like them to do is to be next to each other. And this one I know is low health. 36. Still pretty good though.
Use it or lose it.
Okay, right.
Low infinity health.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to. Actually, I'll try and do this one. You guys are on that one, and I'm wary of setting you all on fire. So I'm then going to.
Burning hands.
Burning hands.
Do it.
So 2 sorcery points.
Flamethrower!
Bonus actions, turn that into level 1 spell slot.
Yep.
And then use level 1 spell slot on burning hands.
And off it goes. And see how it's doing.
Would it like to take me a dexterity saving throw DC 14?
It fails. Con save it would have made.
10, 15,
Whoa.
15 fire damage.
There is a. And the orc flails and drops to the ground.
This box is on fire.
It is. It is actually. It makes its way towards you. You can see that bits of it are burning and dropping off. It is so filled with pestilence and decay that you can barely make out the rest of the orc as bits of it are popping and exploding as it makes its way towards you. But it collapses at your feet as a pyroclasm.
Smouldering.
Yep, a smouldering magma-like mass. Sweet. It is these two. So this one is going to
Try and eat your face off.
ignore you.
Oh shit.
It's going to go 1.
Attack of opportunity,
That's
super
fine.
play.
It's done its job.
It absolutely has. Could you please, because I imagine an 18 on the
Yeah, it really
dice
does.
hits,
Yeah, hits.
could you please take me 12 points of very divine damage?
Blam!
Does that seem to have had any...
Do you smite this thing?
I did not smite it, but the weapon itself is magical. So
That's
I
fine.
don't-
You've smashed into it. It's taken a horrible wound and hit the ground. Good job. It was coming from me. It may have been. So that
The
was
GM
that one.
can neither confirm nor deny.
This one is going to attempt to bite the dwarf. In fact, this one, you see, it swings at the dwarf. The dwarf slashes its wrist off with its axe, and then it shoves its bleeding stump into the dwarf's face, and its blood spouts all over it. And the dwarf does not make his con save.
Free snack.
Oh, he's got a bomb.
There is,
He's a dwarf. He's a dwarf. He's a dwarf.
Ah, yes. There is a fire.
Probably a
element
reason
here.
that
There is things on fire.
There are things indeed on fire. If you would like to dispose of things, there's a fire. The fire has happened.
If only we had some sort of
Tendril, you're
water wizard.
No.
No, fire is
Fire
good.
is good.
Yeah.
Fire good.
Tyndall is going to say, Yo, would you like a free move?
It involves me picking up and dragging this thing into the bonfire.
That's an
then,
action, so no. In that case, he's going to say, Iris, I think it's going to get back up. And he's going to take the... he's going to attack this thing. That's what he's going to do. He's going to say, Iris, I'd step away from it. He didn't know that fire is the right thing to use, and as far as he's concerned, it's going to get up. So you have a move if you want it. He hits the orc.
We'll move
You
away
did
from
say
it just
use
in
fire. You did shout use fire on it. Yeah.
Bam.
But
I
clearly-
told Iris to burn them.
Fine. Oh, okay.
I mean,
he's
He
stabbed
has
the
a
thing
brain,
down.
he'll probably figure it
But
out.
you have loudly expressed that to the dock as a whole.
Yeah.
Fine.
Great.
1,
And that's done.
2, 3, 4. I'll come and stand.
Solid. That's fine. So he's going to smash this thing down,
Actually, no, even better. Where's this guy?
Oh yeah.
and then he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inspect the burning corpse before he does. Neve, you're up.
Some more.
Great. All right.
Man, paladins are hard.
So
Paladins
this
with a
one,
+1
this one is
axe
a
and
pile
18
of
strength will do
smouldering wreck. That is down and that is down, but they're not out.
Potentially.
Who knows?
Okay.
You do not
Then-
know exactly how these things function as yet.
They are also quite moist. They've just come out of a river.
That's true. What I would like to do then,
That's true.
I'm gonna
So there may be water on them, which
Yeah.
would be.
swing around and focus on this one right here.
Sure.
And Neve's eyes are going to silver over for a moment.
Okay.
And
fucking
a blast of moonlight is going to come down on top of this fallen orc and set it on fire if I can. Anything within the this
Is this
fire,
moonbeam?
it is moonbeam, is engulfed in flames and must take me a con save, please.
You don't stop moonbeam.
Where else it's down?
That one's.
In that one, so it takes itself
Is that crit
a
damage?
grand total.
Amy?
Oh, it just
The
explodes.
moonbeam comes down, and this orc is effectively vaporized. You see is worse than this. This thing was turned into a flaming pile and it stopped moving. This thing is kind of powdered. It's still there, but all of the essence that was in it has been just pulverized. And yeah, it's a mist on the floor, bits of squelch.
Moonbeam. Moonbeam.
These guys are gone. Neve, that was. Tyndall looks at you and goes, "Wow."
I think
Yes.
you're kind of caught the silver over of your eyes. I think and went, okay, noted.
That's new.
This guy says, "Oh, Steve," and 1, 2, 3, 4 starts climbing down this ladder and going away. This guy went down the ladder before him and has run after the orc that has gone away. York, you're up.
One more orc to go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Do you pick it up and put it on the fire or something like
If
that?
you're happy,
We're out of initiative.
Great.
You've dealt with everything that's on the board. That's fine. Congratulations, guys.
Is this guy alive?
This guy,
Is he dead, or is he bleeding out?
you could save him with spare the die.
I intend to do so.
Great. So Iris runs over and touches the orc to spare the dying.
I'm going to go and get the orc that was the other side of the wall.
Yes.
Over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go grab that guy.
that's fine. He's asleep. So, right, we'll deal with the aftermath of this in a second. We are going to have a 10-minute break. Chat, don't go nowhere. We will
Yeah.
be right back.
Moonbeam, more like Death Star.
More like Death Star. being,
Fucking
yeah.
Rod for God.
Man, that was fun.
Is it just one spare or is it an AoE?
It's an AoE.
It's
It's
like,
an AoE, but I
was
think it's
it
an AoE
40
of
foot
one
high and 5 foot radius.
You have Moonbeam. This will be relevant.
Why
I've chosen it as my level 2 spell.
Yeah.
But you get all of them, you just prepare the
Yeah,
ones
yeah,
you
that's
want,
what I mean. I had Misty Step and Moonbeam
No,
prepared.
Moonbeam is incredible. Because it's really good against...
Lycanthropes.
Yeah, well, against lycanthropes.
Ah, is it?
Yeah.
Surely it would make them stronger.
It can reveal them.
If you
So,
reveal from it, they also take double damage from it or something horrible.
so it makes them
That's,
transform.
that's what it is.
So if you're like, I'm in human form, and you go, there's a moon, they go, ow!
Nice. Although surely that would be a really bad choice.
Sure, but then you know they're a lycanthrope,
I
and you
suppose
can then
that's
react
true, yes.
accordingly.
Yes.
You go, oh!
Pet them.
Yeah. Not assume that they're inherently evil.
No.
Yes. Oh,
I'm going to steal Josh's chat so I can see what chat's saying.
oh, Abby, if you're watching, hi, I just got your message. Oh, this is so exciting.
Well, I think we've got a good chance of getting a boat. Boat.
Boats.
Boats are easy to get. Easy come, easy go.
Yeah, all you have to do is get kidnapped by orcs, then, escape from the tent, not take the cart that's being pulled by the giant hog, cut all of the ropes, and have a Tomb Raider to help you steer it down the river. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. Not a problem. I'm going to try and get up the Twitch chat if I can.
I've got it here if you'd like to see.
Oh, yes, that is a much safer.
Chat, what do you think of the new camera setup? Is it better? Have you not noticed a difference? Let us know what you think.
Best car in Liberty City.
There's also, I believe,
Nobody
called
stopped
Moonbeam.
Moonbeam.
Oh. Yes. No, I do think that it is canon now that spore orcs are sporks. I think that's very important.
But what do they use to eat their food?
Their hands.
Yeah.
One is in the shape of a fork, one is in the shape of a spoon.
It's an unholy union. It must be stopped. Oh.
Interesting. In Toy Story 4, there's the character Sporky.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah. In that universe, children have the power of life over toys.
Yes.
Because that was one made by a child.
Mm.
And therefore you can just make a toy and give it life.
Yes.
Not a power I knew I
We have
had.
terrifying godlike powers.
Mm.
And we are uncaring gods.
So gods.
Yeah. Yeah. Like full Greek.
Well, that makes a lot more sense, frankly.
Oh. Yes. No, this is not tape. It is camera. It's
Oh, what's the chat saying about the cameras? I can't see.
It says, I only just realised that the black bars that are between the players before are cameras. I assumed you just put tape up over the bookcase to give a visual separation between the players.
Just in case you thought I was Amy.
The framing is better on the cameras for Jorg and Iris. Yes, a big part of why we have changed our seating is you can't tell so much now, but me and Zoe are shorter, and David and yes,
we're even shorter.
they're even shorter.
And so when you
shorter.
put me near Amy, she
It's just
dwarfs me, and
embarrassing.
exactly. So
Yes.
for my own modesty.
But yes, it does mean that when we're on respective sides of the table, that our cameras can be angled ever so slightly differently, so we don't end up with like somebody's face like this and somebody else's face like that.
Smoke and mirrors.
It's all smoke and mirrors. Yes. Lo-Fi says, "I'm so sorry for all the things I've given horrible, twisted half-lives to." Yes. Well, yeah, because you think about it, Sid made his little toy
No, but
creations.
they were already toys. He just mangled them,
Ooh,
so he didn't give them life.
That's interesting.
He was just an
so he's more like Frankenstein. Like he was playing at God. He didn't realise the godlike powers he had within himself. Dave is actually about 3 foot high in person. He is even shorter than Lord Tyndall. So he's like 3 foot if you don't count hair. It's like
You notice she's not denying it.
I actually shrunk like 2 inches because of my meds.
No way! That's crazy.
It like makes your back more bendier because it changes up all of your tendons.
Wow. Exciting. Oh, popcorn is so good. So, how long do you think it'll be before we have to like amputate something of Yorg, who has clearly been infected by the
Sure,
spores?
but if this is any kind of disease, physician heal thyself, he can just go, oh, disease
oh,
gone.
that's true. Yeah,
He
maybe
spent
Elaine
5
can...
of his lay on hand. No, it's just an ability he got like first level. He can just go, disease go, disease go, disease go. And in fact, if he'd have done that to these spore orcs, that would have been really interesting to see.
Oh,
If he'd have gone, cure disease,
that would have been
cure
really
disease,
interesting.
cure disease. He could have ended this without bloodshed, damn it.
Yes, we are on break at the moment, and it seems only fitting to have some shameless advertising for other friends who do similar things. If you are watching Twitch and you like watching Twitch things on, you might have to give me some details here, Lo-Fi, on Monday evenings at a time, Lo-Fi,
Not a time.
who is the amazing artist who did our character designs that you occasionally see and that are on the back of Jacob's wonderful cards.
Which reminds me of something I need to do.
Lo-Fi does a live drawing session. You can tune in to her channel. You can watch her create something, often to a brief from chat.
Awesome.
And no, it's fine. Josh will be totally fine with this. I have decided, and it's too late now. And it's lovely. It's really chilled out. You get to listen to some fun music. You get to chat about drawing techniques and life. And yeah, it's a really nice way to spend a Monday evening. So if you are interested in that sort of thing, absolutely check out Lo-Fi's art channel on Mondays at 7 p.m. There we go. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lo-Fi. There we go. Oh, and it sounds like we have people coming up. Yes, here we go.
I have returned. I have slain Dave.
Slain.
And
Well, I mean, it's only
harvested
fair.
his
Like
organs.
he's clearly been infected with the spores. We will have to do it at some point.
Lay him with Juliet.
We just did a plug for Lo-Fi's art channel.
Oh, it's so good. You should watch it. It's just a great place to be on a Monday evening. Had a really good time with it.
Right, Josh, just as a thing to highlight, this cable
I'm aware
being
it is-
semi-torn is a possible problem at some point.
Yes.
right. So you're currently training your dice to roll ones.
That's the right choice.
Greetings, fellow
Okay,
chunks.
and we are back. Hello, chat.
Woo!
What happened before the break?
York got infected by.
York rolled like a natural 20 on his con save. It's absolutely fine. In fact, rolling that natural 20 has
nothing will
cured the
ever
disease
go
from
wrong.
everybody else anywhere ever. It's fine.
So good.
We were saying it might have been interesting if instead of attacking them, you'd have gone, good.
That would have been interesting.
That would have been interesting.
Well,
I
very
don't,
interesting.
It's a shame
I don't
that
have that
someone
battery.
didn't have just quite enough lay on hands to attempt it. I'm very glad. However, you are now
yes, there is a specific number of lay on hands.
I'm aware.
you are here. The dwarves, after about a minute, 2 dwarves return from this way. And
We cannot see the map at the moment.
oh yes, sorry, let's put them up. Appreciate it. Thank you, Amy. Yeah, 2 dwarves turn up.
York will have policed this orc, but is pointedly making sure that none of the dwarves do anything pointy towards it.
You can always come through the other one.
Actually, yeah, I'll drag him over here with Iris. Can you see if this one
A halfling pokes
needs
their head out
any
from behind
not
the-
dying applied to it?
He's just asleep.
Freya's going to make sure Tingle is okay.
Aww.
Are you quite well, man?
I'm fine, are you alright?
I am.
Quite gross, wasn't it?
It was deeply unpleasant.
Wait a second, there's a new figure on the map.
There is.
There is a halfling. It's poking their head out from the inside of the tavern. They look drunk, so they are a halfling. They are. I mean, we'll describe them when we interact with them at some point in the future.
Actually, if Iris is watching this guy, I'm going to... Sorry, well, I know what kind of theatre in mind, but I'm going to come over here and talk to this guy who seems to
That's fine.
be the most in charge as he has the biggest hammer.
He does.
What's going
He was the guy who was getting up in people's grills.
in Broken Stallion, what's going on?
More refugees fleeing the north.
Assume I'm from Galatea and have no idea what you're talking about, and then start again.
Router, you're far north. There's a problem up with the gray-eyed orcs. Started going funny. Turning white, mold, spores, spikes.
We heard about this
Crazy.
from the lizard people.
Yeah. Heard it's starting to spread up Lake of Tears way as well. Only they got more priests around to help deal with it. We're doing the best we can here. But we'd have set off 4 now if we could have done. Coming every couple of days. A new surge. Appreciate the help from you folks.
Oh, you're welcome.
What are your plans for the orcs that survived?
So these orcs have been taken and
But
burned, fully burned. All of their remains have been swept or smushed into what was in this box, and they've just gone, we've got a fire there, let's go. And so they've
Put some more fire on it.
put some
and
more
put
fire on
wood
it and just burned it.
Tyndall got a face full of gross, didn't he?
He did.
I'm going to offer him one of the well water vials.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Neve.
York,
Oh,
do you need anything?
No, I'm alright.
Alright. Out of character.
so good. Okay. Yeah, it's much more
I
interesting.
stink like nothing else, but
Yes. The dwarves are checking themselves over, and all good. Yep. You can see now this guy
yeah.
when you spoke to him, he pulled back. He was wearing a little face mask
Yeah.
that he'd made.
Mm.
The guys up
Very
on the roof
sensible.
were not, but these two who were down here had made themselves little face masks. You didn't see it in the heat of battle because it was a fight, but
Of course.
but yeah, they'd made themselves little face masks and they were wearing gloves, and they're clearly used to dealing with this kind of nonsense.
You said you would head off. Where are you heading to?
The two on the ground look at each other. We're heading up the they're called the Rockspine Mountains.
That's the hippie dwarves bit.
Oh.
We're heading east.
That's right.
Taking
Along the Ellesmere.
a boat,
We'd love to.
but
Ain't been no boats come down this way from the Ellesmere for near on 2 weeks now.
2 weeks?
Yep.
is anything going east?
Well,
There have been no boats on the Ellesmere for 2 weeks.
yep. Nothing on this way.
This is a major trading route. How can there be no boats?
I get
The
that.
North has traded.
He says Freya standing in a docks. Like,
Okay.
Oh, I'm
Well,
gonna
we're
go.
looking to charter to head east.
well, you'll have to speak to the captain inside.
Okay.
A captain.
There are boats.
There is one boat.
There's one boat.
If we
Shame if
can,
that fire were to spread.
if we can convince them to go, and you're looking to head that way anyway, you want in?
That's something we need to talk about.
Okay. No,
What
sure.
do we do with these two? I point to the orcs who are still alive. How can we know if they're infected?
Well, I rightly wouldn't want to wait around to find out and be wrong.
I can save them if they are, I think. York actively looks confused as to the words coming out of his mouth.
You what now?
I
Really?
think I can purge the disease from them. I think. I'd need to sleep on it.
Without using fire.
Yeah.
Well, we've been using fire.
Hey!
You can also.
No, actually, alright, fine. In fairness, that's a question reasonable to ask, but no, I wasn't talking about that.
Come in. We'll talk.
Did
about
you
silver
get the
drinks.
third one?
He looks and the dwarf who ran away, shakes his head sadly. Well,
We'll just have to hope.
Fix
I
what you can
suppose.
fix.
we ain't gonna catch up with the orc on open ground. We're fine folk, but not exactly swift. Let me
Very dangerous over short distance.
let me buy you something. Natural sprinters. And he takes you into the tavern. We're off to that. You see that the tavern there are a couple of goblins who are. Actually, they stopped hiding now. They've come out, but they were hiding. They are the dock workers and tavern staff, as well as these dwarves. Neve, you probably know that dwarves and goblins have a pretty common working relationship. Goblins and dwarves work together. They both have dark vision. They both can be fine underground.
Yep.
They're about the same size. It is not uncommon to see goblins and dwarves
That's interesting. I really like that you.
in each other's
I
employment.
really like that you completely flipped that typical relationship around. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, they've got so many reasons to be friends with each other and so many other scary things that they have as common enemies.
Yeah, no, makes sense.
And so, there's a couple of goblins, and this is very similar to the trading outpost that you had on the previous.
Don't wait
that
for me to
you-
hand to that. Just get crack in.
Right, yes, this is very similar to the outpost that you had before Freya. This one is much sturdier, clearly a permanent structure, and clearly sees a lot more trade usually, although not at the moment. The warehouses, there's a warehouse space off to one side, which is basically empty.
Actually, that's an incredibly good point. My lord, we should ask them at some point if they have anything to more suitably equip yourself for what you're finding yourself doing north of the border. And see if we can get you some better armour.
Yes, let's get you something more fashionable.
I was thinking more armour, but
Well, you are right. This attire is. I mean, let's face it. It's a winter cloak. Right. Everybody just looks at the two of them.
okay.
You're perfect for each other.
I was told there'd be a drink. I'm really up for that right now.
They crack out some booze. It's fine quality, not amazing. It's fine.
It's just okay.
It's just okay. It's not disgusting. And that is the same for the food. They are very happy. They give you some very simple fare. And meat, drink, water, all of that nonsense they're very happy to do.
Turnips to you.
They have tied up the two orcs and are...
In the morning.
Well,
Sorry,
we're not asleep yet. This is...
No. This is what he's saying.
In the morning, I think I can help them. If it turns out I can't and I'm wrong, we'll sort it the way we need to sort it. But give me a night's rest, and I might be able to help them. If this taps the symbol on the shield means anything,
it does. The dwarves immediately go, welcome. Welcome, Elaine's son.
we definitely need to talk some more because this is very new to me, and it's definitely not who I expected to be conversing with.
Well, my name is George.
No, I mean this.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know, but this is how he interpreted it. He went, okay, sure.
George. I'm going to sit over. I'm going to find a table. I'm going to sit.
Yeah.
I'm going to invite him to sit down.
Yeah, they all come and sit down with you guys. Like, unless any of you are elsewhere, are you all going to be in part of this conversation?
I'm getting wasted at the bar.
Wasted. Right, 15 tequila slammers.
It's
We
been
don't
a
know
long
what tequila
day.
is.
I literally became a captain this morning.
Yes.
This has been a long day.
Okay, so a goblin is still behind the bar. He says,
We can go and join the others if you like.
you don't speak Estalian.
Kurva, harakaramama, tuskaramana,
More alcohol.
kushara, muskaramaba. Chort,
Pours a little something in the top.
chortkabaskanaya,
Ooh.
todo por favor. Iskora,
Tyndall says, yes, more alcohol.
you speak this language?
Yeah,
Wait, they're talking?
goblins are happy to they're people.
They had language. When did this happen?
The halfling sits down next to you and says,
Sits down next to her.
that's correct.
Get exploded.
He sits down next to you and he says,
In which language?
he's speaking Browter badly. And he says, Well, hi.
Hello.
How go you there yourself?
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? You like my hat?
How do I like yours? You round these parts been have?
Thank you, Josh.
Yes.
We should onto the boat.
Boat.
That's
Which
right.
boat?
I boat.
Your boat.
I boat muchly.
There's the session title.
Yeah.
I vote muchly.
Yeah.
It's canon now.
Great biggest boat.
I will.
Great biggest captain.
I will.
This halfling is, I mean, not quite 3 feet tall. He is tiny, and sports an impressive moustache.
Yes.
He has a flat cap on.
I would like to come on your boat. Or us. All of us.
Me solo.
Us come with on the boat.
You my boat.
Us. The boat.
He's nodding, and he gestures to you.
Okay, guys, we've got a boat.
Whoa.
Meanwhile, while this
So,
while the halfling attempts to seduce Freya onto the boat.
Sorry, I'm going to come in and interpret.
That's fine.
this.
Meanwhile, over here, you're chatting to the dwarves. These dwarves explain that they are, sort of dockside workers, labourers, and their contractors. Basically, they are quitting to go east. They're happy to tell you that. They're happy to tell you they're going to the mountains, and they just will not tell you why. It comes up, and they say, "Due respect, that's a dwarf matter."
What about the goblins?
The goblins
Are they
have
sticking around or are they quitting too?
as soon as the money runs out, they'll go find something else to do.
Because we could only let them know about where there are some other goblins who are.
Oh,
stop building the
he's
cult.
got money?
The rewards are great.
Oh, yeah. Well, show.
So I'll sketch out a map so from memory.
Mhm.
I mean, seen it many times. I'm not going to show you.
Go
the
there.
actual
I was going to
map.
turn it into a fucking casino or something.
But yeah, so where the tomb of Lancelot was.
We go back there. This is a fucking casino.
Okay, yeah. They sound they're very interested. They are Flog and Spittle, and they are very happy to. Yeah, that sounds like when these dwarves disappear, they're going to make their way down and see if they can join these other goblins.
Tell me about Elaine, because she is not who I expected to be taking an interest in me.
Elaine, Sheila will do it better. And he calls over a dwarf, and she was one of the crossbow dwarves on the roof.
Hi, I'm for handshake.
I'm Sheila.
Nice to meet you, York.
You want to know about Elaine?
Yes, please.
I'll tell you, like my mama told me, she's one of the holy knights, the saints.
Mm-hmm.
And after their great, she looks after the folk of Estalia, and were many temples to her and prayers given before the browder came, begging your pardon.
No,
I
I know.
don't expect there's much left of that down south, but there used to be a lot. Well, Elaine, she's a saint of healing and goodness and such. Ain't that right? Yeah, she.
Goodness and such. York smiles, not like in a patronising way, but
Yeah,
York
yeah.
does just smile.
She's a protector, Elaine the protector, and she was one of them that stood against the darkness.
What darkness? I don't know these legends. These aren't my legends. These aren't my legends. I don't know these. You may have been told them as children, but
Yep, ain't that something? I ain't never met nobody who ain't heard these legends before. Well, long ago there were a darkness, see, and it rose up and tried to destroy the land, and it was fought back by several heroes, and these heroes now they were Arthur and Mordred and Elaine and Lancelot, and she names a bunch of Arthurian mythos names. And they vanquished the darkness. They defeated it, and in so doing, they became gods. And they're worshipped. They're saviors, and people up and down the land sang their praises, gave blessings in their name, received wonders, and they look after the prosperity of this country. At least they did till the Bradder turned up, and they brought their own gods with them.
We did. There's never much one for gods until recently. It's funny how that goes. I'll see what I can do for the orcs in the morning. I think I can help them. This is all very new to me, but I'll do what I can.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that.
Oh, you're surely welcome. Sorry I ain't no storyteller.
That's more information than I've known up until this point, so you'll do just fine. Don't knock yourself.
Where are the Grey Eye Orcs?
The Grey Orcs are tied up in a corner.
I want to go and talk to them.
Okay, you go and overtake them, and immediately one of the dwarves gets up and says, I wouldn't rightly do that if I were you, miss.
Why?
Steve, it could poison you or something. Just being near him might do it. We don't want to take the risk.
I understand. Thank you. And I'm going to go over.
Great, you head over to the orcs, you chat to them.
Yeah.
They are unconscious but rousable. And you do.
I'm going to...
They struggle against their bindings, but these dwarves did a solid job and they are well tied.
I'm assuming their hands and stuff are all tied.
Yeah, they're all back.
I'm going to offer them a canteen to drink from that I will hold for them.
Spazma.
They speak Stein, and so do you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And they drink. They
That's
both
all right.
drink.
Start building the Estalian lexicon.
Yeah.
Spazma.
It's
just
Russian.
Yeah, they're basically Russian. Like,
Yeah.
That's the...
I'm going to say, tell me what happened. What's going on north of the river?
Garlon is rising.
I've heard of this.
He is... when he says this, everyone in the bar makes the sign of the protective horn.
Garlon rising. The Grey Eye Orc. We are not weak. You must understand. We are fighters. We
I
are
know.
strong. And we have not been strong enough. Our magic has not been up to the task. Garlon came from further north, and he is sweeping south. We tried to hold him off as long as we could. We have failed. The Grey-Eyed Orcs, they are fallen. We are fleeing the few that we can. All north is plague. Terrible creatures. Pestilence, ruin.
I'm sorry.
I am not infected. She is not infected, and he said, I'm not infected. We just want to go south in peace.
I understand. We will try and help you.
Thank you. She looks around. Is Iskander around?
They got away. I hope they're safe. Do you know why there is no travel on the Ellesmere?
The Ellesmere is a big river. There must be lots of trade. Lots.
There have been no boats for 2 weeks. You don't know?
This is very unlikely. We have come from far up north.
I see.
Yeah, these orcs have come from the far north, and they run going. Oh,
I'm gonna have made sure that they've had something.
You make
to
sure
drink.
they are fed and drunk.
Yeah.
Good job.
I'm going to be chatting to the people locally.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be trying to find out if they can give me any information about any more locations of standing stones.
Sweet. These are riverboat traders, and they chat to people up and down the Ellesmere. In theory, this is a very busy trade river, and so they say, oh, certain there's some more of these than there are obelisks further east up the Ellesmere. Must be 2 or 3, and there's one right up in the Black Spine Mountains.
That's fine. That's these ones.
That's correct. Yeah.
These ones are the Black Spine Mountains.
Yeah,
Not over there.
These are
Those are the Razorback
These
Mountains.
are Rock Spine and Black Spine Mountains.
Rock Spine and Black Spine. I am going to update our map.
There's a great big one, the Lake of Tears. They're around. I ain't never taken much interest in them. I tell you who. In fact, no, he doesn't have it. Yeah.
If we're talking about landmarks and things like that, if you don't mind, do you have you ever heard of anything called the Hallover Lane?
Hallover Lane. Can't say I have. Might be one of them tombs up on the Vale of Knights.
Yeah, that's where we're headed.
Oh well, that's there's one of them almost abuts the Ellesmere. Can't be more than maybe a week. But you'd have to go downriver, and that's something's wrong down there.
Well, we'll need to have a chat with the halfling who seems to be very enamoured with.
Yes, I
Lady
would like
Freya.
to come and translate and maybe.
At this point,
I am intensely drunk. The halfling is probably riding on my back, and I'm just shouting about a boat.
okay, you are attempting to leave with the halfling. You are very drunk. Lord Tyndall is attempting to stop you. My dear, we do not need. Yes, I understand. Yes, there is a boat. But do we need to go onto the boat? Yes, do we need to go onto the boat now, my dear? Perhaps we could stay the evening.
Yes.
Yes. And then, well. Boat. Me boat.
Yes.
Me you solo boat.
I'm going to come over. Good sir, what exactly is going on?
Well, I was just talking to this fine young lady here, and she'd agreed to accompany me to my boat.
She is
Yes.
a lady with a capital L.
Well, that's lovely. I'm a mister with a capital M. In fact, let me rephrase. I'm a captain.
Captain, this is her betrothed.
You know, I was a captain earlier as well.
What, this chump?
Yes.
This is in a stallion.
This is in a stallion.
Yeah.
Captain.
It's in
You
a
don't know what's
understand?
going on.
It's in a stallion. I'll
Um,
teach you if I'm not speaking the lingo.
This fella right here.
Yes.
She can do better.
I dare say she can, but I don't think that you are on that list.
You're going to think it's kind of kicked back on his chair and tricky, and he's just observing this
But a boat,
shape.
you say? You say you have a boat?
I have a boat.
And why have you not been travelling on the river for the last 2 weeks?
Well, because there's been nothing coming in for the last 2 weeks.
And why haven't you been going out?
Because I'm not insane. There's something that's been causing problems with trade along the Ellesmere, which means it's not a small something, and it's something to the east. Here, there is beer and a bunch of dwarves with crossbows.
York actively guffaws at that.
I'm Captain Swift.
Leave of the Wells.
Ain't you lovely? Shame she's taken. Who's this young creature?
This is my charge.
How much?
I will smack him across the face.
Okay. You smack him across the face.
I hope that answers your
He
question.
brushes out his moustache. I think he'll find that I'm incorrigible. And he,
Oh, so well then encourage with me in a game of whatever the local game. In a game of the Duke. We'll play a game of the Duke.
fight.
That's great. No, we're going to set down. It looks like a chessboard, but it's a little bit
It's a
smaller.
5x5 chessboard with a couple of bags of
And
tiles.
yeah, there are tiles that you put out, and you have to flip them. It's a more
strategy game.
complex strategy chess game.
Yeah.
like that.
And I
Yeah, it's like
will.
chess with random.
I will play him at a game of the Duke.
Okay, you beat him. He's very bad.
Amazing. I'll play him again, and I'll bet money on it this time, and he will not say no.
And you've
His
just.
pride has been bruised.
Okay. Roll me an insight check.
Either that or you're being played.
Yeah, I was going to say.
There we go.
What do you get?
16, 18.
Okay. What would you? Okay, you engage this guy in several games. He's drunk. He loses the first one. He loses the second one with money on the line. He goes, "All right, well, look, how much have you got on you? I'll triple up."
No more money. But I tell you
No,
what.
I'm describing what
Okay.
happens based on the dice results here. This guy plays you several games, and the last game that you play for all the rest of is like, all right, well, there's double or nothing. He takes all your money. He convinces you to put your money. He rolled an 18, and he's really good at this.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I know you rolled 16, which is good. Yeah, so he's like, well, I think we're even for the punch.
I'm going to pat you on the back and go back to the bar.
That's fair enough.
So, Captain, how much to convince you to leave the safe haven of this bunch of dwarf with crossbows and go east?
He sweeps the gold from the table into a bag, and he goes, well, how much you got?
Well, I've got a strong axe arm.
Well, that's not
And I'll
nothing.
no, it's not. And I'll do my utmost to protect you as far as we're going.
You're looking right down at him.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm sat down. I'm sat down.
You're still looking right down at him. It's like 2 and a bit foot tall. Very, very small.
How much is it going to cost? And we can work it from there.
Well, I like to negotiate in full faith with all the information. How much money does a travelling group such as yourselves actually possess? Freya, you have 9. Oh, you got 8 gold or whatever it was. 9 gold, I think.
Not that much.
9.
How much gold does everybody have?
10.
You have no gold.
5.
You have no
You
gold.
have no gold.
Oh, fine.
Your gold has been taken from you.
6.
Okay.
Didn't we get 40 gold from the shaman?
Yeah, it's gone. That's gone on stuff and being left behind.
Oh yeah, and I gave Neve all the gold from the.
That's right.
I gave Neve all the gold from the dead sorceress.
I tell you what. I know Freya took that.
Yeah, Freya's
Oh, okay. Freya took that.
And
Okay.
then blew up on orcs.
Okay.
And so, I tell you what, if you're crazy enough to come with me, I could certainly use someone, a fella such as yourself, with a strong axe arm and a decent aim.
We're more than
And-
capable of handling ourselves.
Whatever the hell that thing was with the silver eyes, you crazy scary witch.
Hey, you're the one who just took all their money, not me.
So I'm happy to give you some of this money back. I'll pay you.
How about
I'll pay you. I haven't set off. It's not been safe. I've been waiting for someone to come back and say, it was all a joke. Look, we've all been waiting down the river.
how's about you don't pay us and we don't pay you, and we pay you in protection and you pay us in a boat to ride down the Ellesmere.
Done. Sold.
Yeah.
That's not how
Such
you
an idiot.
negotiate.
Says the woman who gave away a boat full of weapons.
Sorry, no.
was
Says,
gonna
I
pay
didn't
us.
need a boat.
says
gonna
also
pay us.
says
This
the
was
woman
down
who
in the stallion.
says
You have
the-
no idea what the price
says
was.
the woman who just got played.
Oh, please. He was going to pay us for services rendered.
We are getting paid for services. We're getting paid in a boat.
I'm very happy. If you'll have to pull your weight.
I'm happy with. I can pull weight. I can pull weight.
All right.
So.
Boat? I've slipped into high
One second.
Now, Tam, says Tyndall. He's very confused. I don't trust this fellow.
1 second. 1 second to the halfling, to the dwarves. Right. Apparently, the gentleman, the captain, is looking to travel east on the Ellesmere. Now there's some heft behind him. You were talking about travelling east on the Ellesmere as soon as there was a boat going.
Yep.
There's a
Is
boat
that a
going.
thing?
We'll take it. Pack up. We're leaving tonight.
Right. Is that a thing that you're happy with as well? You said you like dwarves with crossbows. How about taking them with you?
Well, this seems like a very equitable solution. If all are happy, I shall see you upon me boat. And he spins around and passes out from alcohol.
I think this might be an in the morning thing.
That's fine. Yeah, the dwarves go, well, I suppose we can wait. It is getting late. And we've got a floor you're welcome to sleep on.
Gladly.
Or there's the river.
Or there's a
is there
boat where
bed
the
in
captain
boat?
is passed out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to go to the boat.
Okay, you go to the boat. It's moored
Find a
up.
bed.
There's nobody on it.
Nice. Is there a
Um,
comfy bed?
There's a cab. There's a hammock.
Yeah.
not going to have a little rifle first?
Yeah.
All right. Please roll me.
This is drunk
Investigate.
rifling. So
Drunk
it's unlikely
With
to
disadvantage.
Roll me investigate with disadvantage.
Drunk rifling.
Drunk rifling should be a feat.
Sounds like one.
Where's the investigator?
If you're drunk,
It's
you roll with
intelligence.
advantage.
12.
With
That's not
disadvantage.
Bad for drunk
Wow.
rifling.
That's very
Chat
good
is
for
right. There isn't a rifle. that is what you discovered. Okay, so on a 12.
Yeah, you had to be from Chimeras to get guns.
Yeah. No. This
We've got about 15 minutes.
15 minutes, and then we need to call it.
And, well, then it's past.
And then it's hop. Okay, fine. So yeah, there's no there's not a lot on here. You go through it. There is a strong box, which is
Very locked.
on a 12. You were unable, drunk as you are, to pick the lock. You're like, I'll come back for this. You attempt to pick the lock and couldn't do it. Then, yeah, you have very clearly attempted to pick the lock. There's a couple of broken lock picks that are on the floor, and you're like, oh, it's so far away now. So yeah, actually, you can hear as you guys see that there is Freya with a lantern is going around the boat every now and again, stumbling around, and you hear swearing in Browter.
If she sets it on fire, it's
High
your problem.
Browter.
Swearing in High Browter. Ye gods! Comes out every now and again.
If she sets it on fire, I think the river will deal with that.
My
Yeah,
lord, I think it may just be best to let her be drunk.
yeah. You wander up and down. You have found there is a nice quill pen and some parchment. It's a really nice quill pen. It's been well made. It's the best thing on the boat.
Well,
apart from
I'm
the
very
boat.
drunk. I'm on the boat. I'm going to use the pen to write the word boat on the paper. And then I'm going to go
In
sleep
high
the
browser.
hammock. And then I'm going to go sleep in the
Boat.
hammock.
Beautifully calligraphy the word boat.
Like like all of your calligraphy lessons come back to you in this one moment of being on a boat. It's like
Boat. There is a little scene where your candle dims and you fall asleep, and it's sometime in the middle of the night, and you're on your hammock swinging. The stars are out, and they're very bright tonight. And there is a sudden light source, and you are faintly awoken. You're like, what's going on? And you see Lord Tyndall has entered the space to find you, and he comes over and goes, my love? Are you all right, my love? Both. All right.
Put that lantern away.
Yes, I'm sorry. I will. I'll leave you be. He covers the lantern. He says, I just wanted to check that you're all right.
Yes, yes.
And he turns and leaves the ship.
at some point we will have had our dancing in the bar.
Yes, that's
yes.
Dancing in the bar.
He'll have done it. The dwarves were very keen to show you a dwarf dance, and he went, that's what
I
we're
am
doing
up to
today,
this.
so
Oh,
you all
yes.
did a dwarf dance instead.
What's the dwarf dance? Is it like a barn dance?
It's line dancing,
yeah,
judging by the accent.
Yeah, the dwarf dance that they were doing for you is very much like a barn dance. It's a lot of do-si-do, and they have a caller. And,
Oh,
Yeah.
yes!
yeah, Sheila, she's not a storyteller, but she is a dance choreographer, so she's very happy to do that with you guys. Was that everything right?
Yeah, I'm going to, rather than taking part in the dance, I'm going to be studying my book. I'm going to upcast Identify on it, if that's a thing.
Ooh.
And a level 2 spell slot left.
Interesting. Okay. Right. So
Super Mega Ultra 5.
It's definitely.
there is dancing and sleeping and drinking, and you're all okay. And we will go to the next morning. I will tell you what you have found in your book. I have not yet printed out the stuff.
Right.
So at the beginning of
I'm
next.
tracking how many Identifiers
Yes,
I've-
at the beginning of next session, I'm going to give you the information.
Right.
That's how we'll open next session for you. So you guys head off. The next morning.
Sorry, we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to sleep.
Yeah. So you have slept. You have the
Amazing.
experience of a full rest behind you.
I am.
The next morning, they want to. The dwarves are already awake when you wake up, and they watch with some amusement as you kick Tyndall up and down the yard.
Before we get started on this one, I am going to apologise to Lord Tyndall for today. I'm not going to be able to use my usual revitalising touch on him today, so we're going to take it a little bit lighter today. because I need to save all this to see if I can do anything about these orcs.
He says, I insist that you do not.
Good. Yes, my lord.
Sweet. Please roll me a d4. That is how much damage Lord Tyndall takes in this fight. It will not be enough to take him
1.
Amazing. So, yeah.
He's improving.
He's improved. He's improving, you've noticed. He's mostly in that he's sturdier on his feet now.
Good. No, I'm really glad to see.
And when you shove him, he jumps back and takes the blow instead of just falling to the ground. His footwork is improving.
Yeah. Like York will give that feedback. It's like very well done.
Thank you.
Like even in the small amount of time we've been training, there's been a marked improvement. And you did kill a tree the other day, so
I did. I was very brave. He says.
you were well struck, man.
You were very brave.
Aww.
My lady! Calls Freya on the boat.
Who has clearly been watching
Wearing
from the
my pirate
rail,
hat.
wearing a pirate hat and a sooty grin.
One of the dwarfs comes up and says, we need to talk about these orcs.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to see what I can do.
I know Elaine's a miracle worker, says Sheila. Let's see if she's going to do it.
I'm gonna come with you as well.
Okay.
These orcs are very uncomfortable.
No, that was totally a thing I, in character, forgot to do last night. I was going to talk to Elaine about this last night, but we'll see what we can do. York just has a feeling that he can help, so he's going to try. Neve, you can speak less broken than me. This needs to be gotten across right, so I don't scare them.
Yes.
I don't know what this is going to do. I don't know whether it's going to hurt or not. I know I can help them, but explain that if you may.
We understood.
Oh, okay. That helps if you speak.
Your
better.
Estalian... Oh, you was that in Broughton?
No,
Yeah,
this is
this is
about
Broughton.
Broughton.
Like,
This
yeah.
is
They
about
100% do not speak
I'm
Broughton.
going to say, this is York. York is a healer of the Lady Elaine.
I see.
He's going to...
We are not infected.
I know, but we need to show the dwarves that you are safe before we can let you go. York is going to
Yes.
lay his hands on you. It might be painful.
Can you untie us?
Not until afterwards.
All right.
Thank you for being so patient.
Please do it quickly.
Okay.
This is very uncomfortable.
They
I have no doubt.
Yes. They're prepared. They understand.
My lady, I think this helps. Sorry. Lady Elaine, I think this is what this is for. I think this is help. Help them if you can. I'm going to touch one of them on the forehead with the heel of my hand and channel 5 points of lay on hands.
You channel 5 points of lay on hands. You see the rope burns around their arms heal over. The orc that you touch, she rolls her shoulders and she's... Oh, I feel better, thank you, she says.
The same with the companion.
Cool.
Lady Elaine, bless the soul.
You touch the companion and he writhes and flails under your touch. He almost recoils from it, but he's in ropes. The dwarves come and hold him by the shoulders, and you press your palm to his head. There is a searing, burning sound, and he starts flashing with the white light that you've seen come from Yorg before. Yorg is channeling something, and he's really flailing against the palm now, and he's trying to knock it
basically
away.
grab him on the back of the head and go
and
full.
you push it to him, and he shrieks, wails, turns, and you can see that things are. It's like dark blood is coming out of his nose, and out of the corner of his mouth, out of the corner of his eyes, and then he stops and falls back to the ground and breathes. There is a stillness in the air, and when you take your palm away, there is the brand of the Lady Elaine on this orc's head, and we are going to leave
it
the
there.
session there.
Whoa!
Ah, yes.
Thank you very much, guys.
Man!
And we're back. we're going to stay and chat for the people who are still here, so we will continue to have this conversation. But I'm going to cut off the video here, so thank you all so much for joining us. Second?
Outro.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for joining us. You can follow us on YouTube. I am under Cellpen, or every week we are on Twitch at 8 on twitch.tv/CellpenGM. There will be links around.
Join us on the Facebook group, the War of Inheritance chat group.
Find any of us on Facebook who know us, and everybody knows us, and we will link you there because we'd love your feedback, we'd love your conversation, we'd love everything that you have to offer.
I've also got interesting thoughts about theology, which have come up this session, which I should be posting there.
Yeah, so I'm really interested in expanding this world and knowing the things that people are interested about, knowing the things that you want to know about. Help me to expand this world, because I can go, I will include more of this. If you're like, what are these dwarves all about? Then I'll make sure it comes up. But if nobody cares about the dwarves, then maybe they're just a passing thing. So you help construct the world that these guys get to enjoy. And if you're like, I think they should fight nothing but bulettes all the time,
You will be ignored.
Technically, that's Boulay.
Can you just beat them by jumping on the head?
Yes. Anyway, the best thing you can do, if you enjoy this and you have spent your evening watching the stream with us, so I can only assume that you do. If you enjoy this stream, the best thing you can do for us is to share it. Word of mouth is the best advertising, hands down. So the reason I keep saying ludicrous suggestions for how you can use this is because if you could do it for those, you can definitely do it for people you know and say, hey, I watched this thing, maybe you'd enjoy it too. Please, please, please. Tell your friends, tell people that you know that you think might like this so that they will come and join it. The more people we have on chat, the better this stream will do and the more great content we'll be able to produce for you guys. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in and keep rolling them dice.
Thank you all. Toodles.